Royals baseball.
Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
And your home for Royals baseball.
Fastball hit high in the air, deep left field, way gone into the bleachers. A two-run homer for Bobby Witt Jr.
Watch The Drive by subscribing on our YouTube channel or listen on demand with the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This show is always going to stand on principles. Dippin' Dots are incredible. Red Lobster is the best restaurant that America has to offer, and baked beans are trash.
You're listening to Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. Here's C-Dot.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Excited to be here with you on this wonderful Tuesday. It is a dollar dog night out at Kauffman Stadium. It's also going to be avoid the rain night at Kauffman Stadium as well. My name is Carrington Harrison. Excited to be here. We are going to begin today's show with the Royals because Jack Caglione, he is hot.
The 1-1. Caglione drills it high in the air, deep right field. His bat ablaze. It's a homer over the Royals bullpen. A Caglione clout on his own bobblehead night.
That was Jake Eisenberg of the Royals Radio Network. Congratulations to Jake Eisenberg. He just announced that he is having a son. So salute to friend of the show, Jake Eisenberg. Over the last 7 days, Jack Caglione has hit 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. He has been playing absolutely well. We're going to continue to talk about Jack Caglione, who is really starting to figure some things out. We are going to have an NFL draft guest come on the 3 o'clock hour. We're going to recap the Chiefs draft. I also asked Rob the question earlier to fill in the blank. I wish the Chiefs did blank this offseason. We'll get his answer as the show continues to progress as well. Vern will be on the show. We got a lot happening in today's show. Before we get to the Royals, I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. And number three, and most importantly, I need you to remember that the open of the show each and every day is brought to you by our dear friends over at The Other Place. It is a Tenderloin Tuesday. Go get the half-pound hand-breaded pork tenderloin and fries, $8.99. This is one of the best deals in Kansas City, and you can wash it down with the icy cold 25-ounce domestic mug coming in at just $5. So get yourself the hand-breaded pork tenderloin, get yourself some fries, get yourself something to drink. You can do that all for less than $15. Go see our friends over at The Other Place. Rob, let's talk about it. Jack Caglione, as we mentioned, he has played really well so far this season. He appears to be starting to figure some things out this season, and he is turning closer into the player that we discussed this time a year ago, and to me is really starting to get accustomed to the major league game. Now, I'm sure that you guys on the text line, 913-586-7965, are going to point out some platoon splits. Rob, I'm sure that you're going to point out some platoon switch and him against left-handed batters and him against right-handed and all of these things. And what you're saying might be true because I'm looking at it. This season against right-handed batters, or right-handed pitchers, excuse me, Jack Caglione is hitting .269. Against left-handed pitchers, he is hitting .217. His on-base percentage is .367 against right-handed pitchers. His on-base percentage against left-handed pitchers is .250. There is no denying that he has been a much better player against right-handed pitching than left-handed pitching this season. But what I would contend, how I would contest this is, how do you get better at something if they don't let you do it? He's gotten 90 at-bats against right-handed. He has only gotten 24 against left-handed. They platoon him and move him out of the lineup, and they do this and that. You know what I am on board with? Just letting the young guy go through it. And in the same way that he has figured it out, where last year he didn't really hit right or left-handed pitching very well, I think if you continue to give Jack Caglione at-bats, I think if you continue to give Jack Caglione opportunities, I think you would see improvement in the same way that you have in other areas of his game. What are your alternatives? You're taking Jack Caglione so you can get more Lane Thomas, more Isaac Collins? Is that why you're taking Jack Caglione out of the lineup? No, 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 no. He has been one of their best offensive players. He has been one of their more consistent offensive players. And you know what? I am all on board with them just throwing him out there. The same way they do with Bobby, the same way they do with Mikal, the same way they do with Vinny. I think Jack is starting to play himself into he needs to find himself in the lineup each and every day, and you can deal with the highs and lows that come from it. He is showing that he deserves to be here. Again, he is one of their best and has been one of their most consistent offensive players so far. I am on board with us just completely removing this platoon idea, righty, lefty splits, and Jack needs to be one of those individuals that is a fixture in your lineup every single day, and you are going to help guide him through these splits and help get him better against left-handed pitching. Rob, that's my proposal.
I don't think it's a bad proposal, and I think your proposal is probably a populist opinion. I think if we polled the text line and polled Royals fans, you would be on the side of, hey, everyone wants to see that. Let me just play devil's advocate for 2 seconds. Is it possible the fact that he is becoming an everyday player, the fact he's becoming red hot, the fact he is now a player that you want in the lineup every day, is it possible that is happening and he's hitting better because of the platoon? Is it possible that the system that we all don't like, the system that we all want to see change, is one of the reasons why he is improving? Because, Carrington, let's be honest, last year the Royals threw Jack Caglione into the deep end. They said, go get him, buddy. You've been dominating, they've been dominating mechanics down at AAA. Time to go dominate Major League pitching. And he did not. Is it possible they are easing him back in by putting him in advantageous matchups in 2026, at least early in the season, so that he can get back to that dominant way, and then later in the season he becomes a player you want? Is it possible they are easing him into it and giving him advantageous moments because of what happened in his past?
I think what you were saying makes a lot of sense. Someone just texted this in, and this is the side that I would be on. This is what made Ned Yost so great. He let the young guys figure it out. He would throw Eric Hosmer out there every day. He would throw Mike Moustakas out there. He would throw Alcides Escobar out there and let them work through their struggles, and eventually they came out on the other side. You and I agree, and I understand you're playing the devil's advocate argument. You and I agree that Jack Caglione is part of their foundation, that if this team is going to make the playoffs, it is going to be because Jack Caglione has figured it out. It's going to be because at the end of the season, we look up and Jack Caglione has 17 home runs and 61 RBIs. It's going to be because he has consistently played out in right field, and you trust him out there that he has grown and developed into it. So I would say the best thing that I think you can do for Jack Caglione is get him at bats against left-handed starting pitching in low leverage situations, so he gets more of those whenever you have to throw him into high leverage situations. He's shown what he can do against right-handed batters. This is a good hitter against right-handed pitching this year. If you're hitting 270 with a 375 on base percentage, you're hitting for homers, you're slugging the ball, you have shown in the interim you can hit right-handed pitching. He hasn't really shown consistently that he can hit left-handed pitching, but you can't hit left-handed pitching while you're sitting on the bench. You can't do that while they don't put you in the game, while you don't get those opportunities. So I would contend, if you trust them, if you believe in them, which obviously the Royals believe in them, then you can't be in and out. You can't be halfway to it. I would push Jack Caglione in the deep end, and with the way that he is playing, I'd be willing to ride through these things. Now, you can always reverse course. Let's say you try this for 3 weeks, it goes terrible, then you can reserve judgment, and then you can go about face. But I think the way that he is playing, the way that he is hitting, I trust him against left-handed pitching more than I trust those other options. And given how important he is, given the foundational piece that you think he is, I'm all for it. Text line 913-586-7965. I want to get you guys' opinion. I am for them just leaving Jack Caglione alone. Have him at sixth, have him at 7th every day, you're going to live with the good, you're going to live with the bad, and you're going to continue to work and get him more and more experience against left-handed pitching and try to elevate that average, try to have him hit for more power, and try to have him be a more consistent left-handed bat than he is. Because I would say right now, what do you do in a playoff game if the starter's left-handed? You're just not going to use him in that scenario? I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can afford to do that. I think Jack has to be a part of whatever plan you have in turning this thing around. I think he's been that so far. I also think a major reason of why they've turned things around offensively is Jack Caglione is starting to figure some things out offensively, and he has been part of the solution as opposed to being a part of the problem. We'll read some of you guys' texts coming up in a bit, but you guys know the rules. It feels good that we're doing this on a consistent basis. Rob, take it away.
We're where you want to be. Baseball with the Royals.
Carrington, the Royals playing better baseball has me in a great mood. So let's jump back to the best year of Royals baseball of all time, 2003 for today's random Royals lineup.
You know I love a 2003 random Royals lineup.
Or on this date in 2003, the Royals beat the Red Sox on a walk-off in the 9th, 7-6. Here was your lineup. Leading off in center field, Michael Tucker.
Gotta love a Mike Tucker.
Batting second, the third baseman, Joe Randa.
Smiling Joe Randa, the Joker.
Batting third, the first baseman, Mike Sweeney.
Shout out to Mike.
Batting fourth, the left fielder, Raul Ibanez.
The love that you feel for David DeJesus, that's the love that I feel for Raul Ibanez. Raul Ibanez should be in the Royals Hall of Fame. Not David DeJesus.
We should get someone to transcribe that speech he gave in 14.
I don't know if we could play FCC rules. The FCC might say no mas.
Batting fifth, the designated hitter, the All-Star, Ken Harvey.
Shout out to Ken Harvey.
Batting sixth, the second baseman, Desi Relaford.
Who's the Desi Relaford of this team?
That's a good question.
Do you think the 2026 Royals have a Desi Relaford?
Is it Nick Lofton?
It's not a bad one. It's not a bad one.
Batting seventh, the catcher, Brent Maine. Batting eighth, in right field, D. Brown.
Shout out to D. Brown.
And batting ninth, the rookie of the year, Angel Baroa.
I mean, back in 2003, Raul Ibanez, Rob, he had 33 doubles. He had 5 triples, 18 home runs, 90 RBIs, hit 294, and had a 345 on base percentage with the 450 slugging. You know what the 2026 Royals could use? They could use Raul Ibanez. This is what I think Jack Caglione could do. Now, the average might be a little too high. I don't think Jack Caglione's hitting 294. But if you let him play every day, if you let him go, he couldn't have 18 home runs this year. I think it's possible. This team could really use a 2003 Raul Ibanez. We'll read you guys' text coming up on the other side. I think it's time to just let Jack Caglione play in right field. I think he's deserved it. I think he earned it. I think it's in everybody's best interest that they continue to develop and mature Jack Caglione as their right fielder. The same way you would with the quarterback. You play him against good defenses, you play him against bad defenses, but you let him get out there, you let him get his experience, and you just got to live with the results of what you get with that young quarterback, hoping that he can come out on the other end and deal with it. And I think that Jack is starting to do that. Today is also Cinco de Mayo. You know that we love a food hot take on this show. I've got one for you. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for K-State Athletics. 96.5, The Fan.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/groundadvantage to learn more.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams sale and get 30% off duration, woodscapes, and super deck products May 1st through the 11th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Spring is here, and as the weather heats up, the sports section heats up at Circa Sports. From baseball to basketball to hockey, Circa Sports has it all. Circa Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service. Whether you're looking for playoff futures or props on your favorite players and more, Circa Sports has you covered. And don't miss out on the special Royals props for every game. Download Circa Sports app or visit circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When Kansas City storms roll through, hail and wind can damage your roof without you even realizing it. If your home was hit, call us at Century Roofing for a free inspection today. We handle every step with your insurance company, making the process stress-free and easy for you. For over 35 years and more than 35,000 roofs, we've been protecting Kansas City homes. Let us protect yours. Trust the pillars of strength with KC-based and female-owned. Century Roofing, KC.com.
Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength.
This Mother's Day, treat all of the moms in your life like a queen. No, wait, an empress. With a little help from IV. Surprise her with a stunning floral arrangement, or choose from dozens of gift cards for some retail therapy. Then bring the whole family to brunch at the Hy-Vee Market Grill. Just $19.99 for adults, $6.99 for children 6 to 12, and kids 5 and under eat free. Just one stop for endless options to crown her queen for the day. Only at Hy-Vee.
Moms are the most important people in our life, and she deserves to be honored on Mother's Day. This year, treat your mom to an amazing brunch at Hy-Vee with fresh eggs, crispy bacon and sausage, biscuits and gravy, fresh fruit, sweet treats, and so much more. You can bring the whole family for just $19.99 for adults, $6.99 for kids 6 to 12, and kids 5 and under eat free. It's Mother's Day brunch at Hy-Vee. They have everything to honor Mom. So make this Mother's Day the most memorable ever, only at Hy-Vee. The Royals and the See You in the Major Leagues Foundation are teaming up with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City to recognize outstanding high school sports coaches through the Blue KC Coaches with Character program. From April to September, we'll recognize 6 coaches as a Blue KC Coach with Character. Each honoree will receive a VIP package that includes tickets to a Royals game and more. Be part of honoring our high school coaches whose service is making Kansas City a better place to live, work, and play. Just go to bluekc.com/nominate coaches with character to nominate today.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya, guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
Are you looking for a podcast about pro football that doesn't put you to sleep with an avalanche of analytics or insult your fandom with brainless hot takes? Well, hi. I'm Dan Hansis.
And I'm Mark Sessler.
Oh, hi, Mark. And we're the hosts of Heed the Call, the NFL podcast you've been waiting your whole life for. Podcast be the same.
Follow and listen to Heed the Call NFL podcast wherever you get your podcast.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, Kansas City, it's Vinny Pasquantino. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
I want to read some of the text right now. We are talking about, I think the Royals should just let Jack Caglione play. I would not continue to move him in and out of the lineup. I would just have him be an anchor at the 7th spot or the 6th spot and just keep it moving. Text line 913-586-7965. I would say the text line is pretty split about it. Guys, last year he was thrown to the Wolves and got mentally taxed. I think they are trying to avoid that. I think it's a little bit more than him just being mentally taxed last year. I think he was just physically overwhelmed. I don't think that we discuss enough, and I certainly understand it. I don't think the gap from AA to AAA is that big. I think the gap from AAA to Major League is a Grand Canyon-sized gap. I think there's a pretty wide skill gap at that point. And I think he got up there, and pitches are moving in ways they haven't moved before. The velocity, I also agree with you. I think some of it's the expectations, the mental grind of it, and I think he got overwhelmed. Well, like anything, you've now gone through the course once. Now you take the course the second time, you're better prepared to kind of navigate it a little bit. I do think that happened with Jack Caglione. Now, I agree with this text. Guys, I would leave him in the lineup. If he's an everyday guy, he'll play like it eventually. That's kind of the side that I'm on. To keep the cross-sport comparison, to use the football analogy, if you have the right infrastructure in place, your quarterback is eventually going to figure it out. I don't think the Jets ever had the right infrastructure with Sam Darnold. I don't think Carolina ever had the right infrastructure for Sam Darnold. But that guy went to Minnesota that had the infrastructure, and he got really good. We were then, I don't know, he then left there, went to Seattle, had a really good infrastructure, great defense, great running game. It worked out. I think it could have been that way from the very beginning with Darnold. He just wasn't in the right situation. I do think for the most part, great players, great talents, if they are going to figure it out, they will eventually figure it out. So that's why I'm at the point with Jack Caglione. If you think he's a guy that can hit 30 home runs and be a 100 RBI guy, then let him do it. Let him play every day. And let's see what happens. And I think eventually where he is against left-handed pitching, it will eventually even itself out. And I don't think you would have this drastic of a change. These are two completely different players. His batting average is 50 point higher. His on-base percentage is 120 points higher. Those are two completely different players. I don't think it's that big of a gap with Jack Caglione, and I don't think it would be that big of a gap if you let him be an everyday player. Text line 913-586-7965. Guys, I love the random lineup, but please change the song. If we have to change the song, I don't want to do the random lineup anymore. If you're telling me that we have to find a new Royals song, then I don't want to be a part of it. Is there a Royals song that we should even consider? Is there one to even throw in the mix? They have another song? Do you know one, Rob? They got to have some song. It's some 2000s. Let's do that. Why don't we go on YouTube and let's try to look up some old Royals jingles, and let's see if there is even one that's in even contention to change where you want to be. That's just such a good song that puts us in a good mood.
You got to love these guys a jingle we could play?
We got to hear it.
They didn't have a lot of jingles. Something about on a trek to 100 losses every year just made it tough to love these guys.
Text line 913-586-7965. Guys, it's not just about developing CAGs. It's about winning games. When Yost was doing that, the team lost a lot of games. The team can win games and compete to have balance between develop and winning. Right now, they have some options with left-handed hitting that are better than Cab. If the rest of the lineup produces, then you can deal with him struggling through the development. I understand that point as well. I guess my question will continue to be, when do you then plan on throwing Jack Caglione into the everyday lineup? When do you think that is going to happen? Is that a late May conversation? Is that a June conversation? Is that a we'll wait until next year to be able to do it? Like, when do we think the plan is for him to just get those opportunities? When is the plan for you just to do this on a day in, day out basis with him? Would be my question when it comes to Jack Caglione. I do want to talk about this for just a bit. I do want, Rob, during the commercial break, can we find some other Royals jingles, and then we can make a decision if we want to change it or not. But I'm telling you right now, I don't really have much of an interest in changing the song, but we can at least listen to it. I can't speak for anybody's home. How you live, what you do, that's your business. But There is one thing I would judge you in your home. Let's say that you're having a taco night at the house at Casa de Rob, and you're inviting people over. You're like, hey, Carrington, you know what? We're going to go out. We're going to eat some tacos. We're going to have some margaritas. We're celebrating Cinco de Mayo. I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds like a really good time. When do you need me to be there? Oh, why don't you come by around 7:30? Okay, cool. You need me to bring anything? Oh, why don't you just bring a 6-pack? Okay, sounds great. If I come to your house and you don't have any hard shell tacos and we're only eating soft shell tacos, I would judge you for that. It's an inferior way to eat a taco. Now, I'm not talking about street tacos. You know, where you go to an authentic Mexican restaurant, they give you the tortilla. That's a different kind of taco. I'm talking about at-home tacos. I'm talking about if you invite somebody over and you can get the La Tiara shells or you got the soft shells, I'm judging you if you're picking up the soft shells. It's just not the right way to eat a taco, in my opinion. I try not to judge people. That's something I would judge you for.
I am happy you made the distinction about the street tacos, because that's a very different ballgame to me, because street tacos are their own entity.
Yeah, I don't consider them to be soft tacos in the same vein of a taco that you would get from Taco Bell. They're its own category. Those are street tacos.
I would agree. I also think, I don't go to other people's houses for taco night that often, but I understand why they have soft out, but no one should eat the soft. No one should go out of their way to enjoy the soft. Hard shell is the only way to live. Now, I will create an opportunity where, let's say you're going to someone's taco night and they decide to get fancy with it and they wrap the hard shell inside a soft.
I never been over somebody's house that does all that. That's too much. You're doing a lot.
I mean,
I don't need all that.
If they do that at the house, if that option exists, I'm okay with it. But that's its own ball game. Hard shell tacos all the way.
Yeah, someone says, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but we're a soft shell family at my house. I don't want to come over there then. I don't want to eat over there. I think you're doing everybody else a disservice if you're not. At a minimum, you got to offer both. Now, if you got the hard shell tacos and you got the soft shell tacos, you just want me to have options, great. I'll eat all the crunchy, and let's say, all right, I'm still a little bit hungry. I got no other option. All right, fine. I mean, I guess I'll eat a soft shell taco. But if those are the only options, and you're trying to tell me why you don't like the hard shell, yeah, I don't know. I'm judging you for that. I think you made a terrible decision if that's the case. Now, someone on the text line says a good point. If you're eating soft shell, it's got to be more like a fajita. That's a little different to me.
I was going to say, the meat changed the thing.
That's different to me.
If you got like steak.
If you're having a fajita night and you're doing it that way, great. That's phenomenal. I'm all for a fajita night. I'm talking about a soft shell taco. No thanks. Hard shell all the way for me. Team hard shell.
This is why I think the meat changes things very importantly. If I come over to your house and you're like, hey, I got some grilled marinated steak and I have some soft shell tacos available, I'd probably do that. But if you got ground beef, no. Ground beef goes in a hard shell taco all day, every day. I don't understand anything else.
Yeah, someone said, C-Dot, are you a normal classic plain hard shell or do you like a good nacho cheese hard shell? Either one's fine.
I prefer regular, but yeah.
Either one's fine, though. Like, if you got the Dorito shell, I'm going to eat that. If you got the regular shells, you get the La Tiara, you get the Del Taco, you get the Pay shell, I'm eating that, too. I don't really have too much of a preference one way or the other. Someone said, you guys are crazy. In Mexico, there's no hard shells unless you go to the sea. See, that's why I'm saying it's different. At your home, you're not making tacos like that.
Mm-hmm.
Those are complete how you're cooking them. The tortilla, that's completely different. Yeah, I'm not going to an authentic Mexican restaurant and getting the hard shell. No, I want the street tacos. Give me the onions. Give me the cilantro. Give me the salsa. I'll get the al pastor. Yeah, now, if you cooking tacos like that at the crib, please invite me over. If you got that kind of taco night going on, great. But that's not the taco night that I'm talking about. I'm talking about where you go to Hy-Vee and you go in the back, you might get the little tube of meat Or you might get the package and you're looking through the packages to try to get the cheapest one. You then go home, you cook it up, you season it, and then you just got a big pot of ground chuck there, and I got to go make my own taco. I'm talking about those kind of tacos, not the official tacos. Those are a different entity.
Yeah, there's authentic Mexican tacos, like the text line's point when I'm down in Mexico once in a while and I get tacos. Yeah, they're better than I make in my home. But that's just the case about food in general. You know who makes a better steak than me? 1587.
Yeah, for sure.
It doesn't mean that I don't have steak night at my house. So when I have taco night at the house, which I am doing tonight for Cinco de Mayo,
you gotta have a taco night.
Hard shells today. Now, if I'm at your house, you said, hey, I got soft shell tacos. If you want to make a burrito, hey, that's cool. You can do a little burrito rolling, but soft shell tacos a hard pass.
Yeah, no, I was just asking. I was curious to know. I just wanted to get you guys' opinion.
Does your rule on this apply to restaurants too? Like, let's say you're down at pick a spot in the Boulevard, Manny's, Ponax, whatever, and it's Taco Tuesday. Are you crunchy all the time? Because outside of
I'm either getting the crunchy or I'm getting their version of street tacos. Yeah,
I agree.
I'm getting one of the two.
Basically, outside of when I'm getting authentic Mexican tacos, which no offense to Tex-Mex place in town, that's not that. I'm getting hard shell all day, every day.
I love tacos.
I like the crunch.
I'm just a big taco individual. I love a taco. Today's a great day. I wish the weather was I wish it was go sit on a patio kind of weather today. We don't have that today, but I'm a big taco. We support tacos on this show, a big taco family. Rob, you know what? Let me throw a little bit of a curveball here. You know we like to do that from time to time. We got Trevor Sikkema coming up in the 3 o'clock hour. We're going to talk a little bit of NFL draft. I also asked Rob I wish the Chiefs did blank this offseason. We'll get his answer coming up at 3 o'clock. You know that we love talking about high school sports on this show. You know, we all played high school sports. Maybe you got a kid right now that's playing high school sports. Maybe your kid is about to play high school sports. We support the kiddos on this show. Well, did you guys know that currently 31 states offer a shot clock when it comes to high school basketball? It just got shot down in Indiana. I'll play the audio for you here, and they're currently going through it in New Jersey about what they want to do. Even here locally, Kansas has a shot clock for high school basketball. Missouri does not have a shot clock for high school basketball. They sat down with the Iowa High School Commissioner to ask him why he thinks that it didn't pass. Here's what he said.
Well, I think tradition is always part of a consideration. Indiana's game is different. You know, we grow basketball here, as our friends from Pacer Sports Entertainment say, and we certainly agree with that philosophy. But tradition certainly carries a lot here in Indiana, maybe more than other states. And, you know, when we looked at the stats, I think one of the things that our board considered was the number of possessions that actually extend beyond 35 seconds in a game. And when you average only 2 games in a game that extend beyond 35 seconds, you say, do we really have an issue in Indiana? The other thing our board looked at was we believe that we have some of the best coaches in the country that have a high level of skill. Their student athletes are skilled. And if they need to win a game by possession control and give their kids an opportunity to work the ball to get to the best shot, do we really want to be in the business of taking that tool away from the great coaches that we have?
All right. Happy that he used that term at the end when he said possession control, because I think there are some legitimate reasons of why there would be no shot clock in high school basketball. And we were talking about this yesterday on social media, and I think people made some really good points. In some school districts, in some part of states where they don't have as many students, where they don't have as many parents who are maybe as knowledgeable about sports, I mean, running the shot clock, you have to have a pretty good understanding of basketball to be able to run the shot clock. You have to have a good understanding of basketball. Because I'll just give you an example. The shot clock, after a missed shot that hits the rim, it doesn't automatically reset back to 24. It resets to 14. So it's half of the time when to start the shot clock, when somebody rolls the ball inbounds until the shot clock doesn't start until somebody picks it up. All of those things. You just have to have an understanding of the game of basketball to be able to do it. So you got to have the right person to be able to do it. Now, we all have been to high school basketball games, some maybe more recent than others. I am not signing up for that job if I ain't getting paid. I'm not signing up for any job where people could potentially yell at me if I am also not getting paid to do this job, and I understand budgets, you might not have the money to pay somebody for 15 times of running the shot clock. That person also has to be very knowledgeable and qualified to be able to run the shot clock. So I do think there are some resources, budgetary. We got to pay the refs. We got to pay the scorekeeper, the bookkeeper. Now we got another expense for this high school basketball game. Those are all legitimate reasons to me why you would maybe not have a shot clock. The answer at the end is not a legitimate reason to me. Possession control? Let's call it what it is. The small schools and the rural schools don't feel like they can compete against the bigger, faster, more athletic schools. So one of the ways that you can do it is to shorten the game and decrease the number of possessions. Because the team that usually has the most possessions, or if the game has more possessions, it will usually favor the better team. We all have been to a high school basketball team where the talent discrepancy was pretty big, but one way that you can make the game close is to just stall and limit the number of possessions. That is not a good reason, in my opinion, to keep the shot clock. I also, whenever, Rob, we have these conversations, I hear all these talks about how parents are signing their kids up to play AAU ball. We're trying to get them a scholarship. You know what they got at college? You know what would best prepare you for the next level? Playing with the shot clock and creating more realistic scenarios like you were going to face at the next level. Now, I know everybody is not going to the next level, but if you're really worried about your kid getting a scholarship and being prepared for college and putting him in the best possible situation, the fact that he could play 120 basketball games over the course of his high school basketball career with no shot clock is not the best situation to prepare him for the next level. So if you were telling me that for some of these schools, Rob, this is a financial resources argument, I think that's a fair argument. I can't tell you you are wrong or right. You know your budget. You know the resources that you have. If we are not switching over to shot clock because of possession control and we want to try to have it so we can level the playing field, no. You get blown out in that scenario. I'm sorry to tell you. Go play the team. Go play them straight up. None of this four corners. None of this stall. And I'm sorry they ran you off the court 90-32, but that's life.
The end. Now, I'm not saying the Iowa high school commissioner is the end-all, be-all for these arguments. But when he said, we have great coaches in this league, and I don't want to take away a tool for them to drop a great play at the end of the game because of a shot clock. Let me tell you something. This is a harsh reality. High school coach listening. You did not draw up a great play if it takes more than 35 seconds to get a good look. That's the stupidest thing I think I've heard from the Iowa State commissioner. I also don't understand with 35 seconds. If you were saying, hey, we want a 24-second shot clock in high school, I'm with you. That's too much.
For sure.
Even 30, I would argue, hey, 30 is probably too much for some of these levels.
35 or 40 is a fair number.
35 or 40, it's just asking you to, play basketball. No one's asking you to play four. It's basically killing four corners offense. Like, just come up the floor, run a play. 17, 18 seconds go by. It didn't work. Run another play. If you don't get a good look, I'm sorry, your possession is over. But you're right. The reason we don't do this is because small schools don't get run off the floor because they coach their team to win 18-16 in 2026, which is just not learning or teaching basketball. What that is some nonsense designed to win high school games. Just a shot clock seems like an obvious thing to me.
Yeah, someone texted in, as a high school basketball coach in Missouri, I'm 100% in favor of a shot clock. The end of the games when teams try to run out the last minute and 45 of a game is so annoying. Plus, it doesn't prepare kids for the next level. Exactly. We've just seen it at the end of basketball games. What are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? This is bad. This is bad. No, go play them straight up. I am all in favor of once you get to the varsity level, I am all for those kids playing with a shot clock, 100%. At that point, to me, if you have signed up to play high-level varsity basketball, you have signified I'm serious about this, and I think there is a chance I can keep playing basketball past this. When you think of the pressure that comes to playing, signed up for a shot clock, in my opinion. If you signed up to play high school basketball at Staley, you've signed up for the shot clock. If that's not what you want to do, just go play club basketball. Go play with your friends. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, I don't like basketball like that. I don't have any future. I just want to work out. I just want to play ball with my friends. Great. Play intramurals. But we're talking at this level, I think it should be across the board. If you play varsity basketball, I think there should be a shot clock, but it was voted down in Indiana, and one of the reasons was possession control. They think that is a part of the game.
I'm also astonished, that, not to disrespect the high school coach next in, people try to run out the last minute 45?
Oh, 100%.
That's awful to watch.
100%.
That's, ugh.
Rob, we've been at a game where we've seen this happen before.
The game we went to had a shot clock, right? We went to a Kansas side game.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, we've seen it.
Playing keep away for minutes of basketball is awful.
Oh.
You start fouling at 4 minutes. That can't be enjoyable for the fans.
You know what? In 7 months, I'll take you to some games where that is in the area. That is absolutely happening. Coming up on the other side, Rob, let's listen to some other Royals jingles, and let's determine if we are going to switch. We got Trevor Sikkema to talk draft coming up in the 3 o'clock hour. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
On your home for Chiefs football, 96.5, The Fan.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee.
Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most.
That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included.
Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that.
Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber, connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
DQ presents the $7 meal deal. A delicious meal serving up serious value. We're talking 100% white meat, seasoned chicken strips, full-size fries, a drink, and of course, a classic DQ sundae. Because come on, no meal is complete without a sweet treat. All for just $7. And now you can try it with the new honey sriracha dip. The DQ $7 meal deal. A satisfying meal full of big flavor for a great value. DQ, happy tastes good.
This summer, Casey's has 89-cent medium fountain and new Frostbite by Casey's drinks. But if you don't have 89 cents, you could check your center console, dig between your couch cushions, ask grandma for $1, or just use your credit card. 89-cent medium Frostbite by Casey's or fountain drinks at Casey's all summer long. Restrictions may apply. See store for details.
Hello?
Hey sis, got a sec?
Yeah, what's up?
Take a look at the picture I just sent you. I'm walking into Hellsberg and want to get Mom something special for Mother's Day.
Yeah, she's done so much for us this year. Let's see. Diamond pendant. Oh, she'd love this.
Great. I'll get this, which means you're in charge of flowers.
Okay, deal.
This Mother's Day, save up to 50% on timeless gifts for Mom. Shop at a store near you or at Hellsberg.com.
Hey, it's Cody and Gold, and if you've been thinking about a career in IT, I want you to meet Lacey, a career services advisor over at Centric.
Hi, I'm Lacey. At Centric, we know that networking is essential. That's why we host career fairs and networking events that set our students apart from the rest. Our vast network of Kansas City employers are eager to connect with IT professionals who are ready to start their career journey.
If you're serious about making a career move, then learn more at Centric.com.
The world is coming to Kansas City. Is your parking lot ready? Over at GAN Asphalt and Concrete, they'll make sure that your parking lot is inviting, safe, and of course, your project being cost-effective. Find them at GANAsphalt.com. One contractor, all things parking lot.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Target, finding something for every kind of mom and every side of mom just got easier. Does she love fashion? Take 20% off select women's clothing and accessories and find a dress she'll love to wear. Is she into the outdoors? Freshen up her favorite spot with up to 40% off planters, pillows, and poofs. Or keep it classic, fresh tulips for just $12 and a Dossier fragrance trio for $32. Whatever mom is into, we've got it. Celebrate mom her way, only at Target. Restrictions apply.
This afternoon, expect rain with a high of 58.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
Welcome to your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, earlier today, we were reading the random lineup. You know we do this. If we start the show with the Royals, we play the Royals jingle. Somebody sent in, for the love of God, change the song. Now, I don't want to change the song, but I try to listen to you guys. You offer up a suggestion. I don't want to get too big or too arrogant or have an ego where I don't listen to you guys' suggestions about changing the song. So if it's a suggestion, I'm willing to listen to it. Rob, you think this could be the best one. This could be the best alternative to the Royals jingle that we have. Rob, really quickly, can you play our original Royals jingle that we have? Because maybe people don't know what we're talking about. I don't want them to be out of the loop here. What's the Royals jingle that we usually play?
You want to be baseball with the Royals. If you want to be.
All right, that's the one we usually play. You have found another one that you think could be a solid alternative. What year is this jingle?
This is from 05. This was, I Googled Royals jingles, and I did not include, like, Royals by Lord. I did not include the 1738 song. I also discounted fan anthems on YouTube.
Okay, I'm sure there's a lot of Royals fan anthems.
Like the Johnny Cueto song does not count as a Royals jingle.
There was a Johnny Cueto song?
Oh, there was a Johnny Cueto song, yeah.
Can you pull it up? I don't even remember
find the Johnny
song.
Cueto song.
We got to make sure. I mean, you almost got us fired yesterday. Can you not do that 2 days in a row?
I'll pull up the Johnny Cueto. Oh, listen, it was not a Royals jingle. So I pulled this commercial from, I believe, the 05 Royals, where they call This Is Kansas City.
Okay, all right, I'm going to play this.
This is Kansas City. No, this is Kansas City. Now, this is Kansas City. You ready? Now, this is Kansas City. That's right, it is. How about that? This is Kansas City.
When they had This Is Kansas City, did they show traffic cones?
Do you want to know?
I don't remember the commercial. Did they show traffic cones? Did they show road closed signs? That's Kansas City.
Do you want to know the players featured in this commercial?
I can hear some of them.
Mark Teahan.
Okay.
I'm not counting George Brett and Buck O'Neil.
Yeah, no, I heard those. Yeah, I heard those.
Okay. This was Buddy Bell, John Buck, Mark Teahan featured, and Mike Sweeney featured prominently.
How'd that team do? That team had to have won the World Series back in 05.
I think they just missed.
Okay, no, I mean, I'm sure they had a deep playoff run. No, it makes sense. I don't think we're changing the Royals jingle anytime soon. I didn't hear enough in that little 30 seconds that you cut for me to think that we're getting rid of the Royals jingle. That song didn't make me feel good. The Royals jingle makes me feel good, so I think we are keeping it. We're going to get to football coming up at the top of the hour, but I want to read this to you because the Kansas City Star said something that is not accurate. So, one of the writers from the Kansas City Star tweeted this out. The thing that nobody wants to say out loud that is getting harder to ignore is that the Kansas City World Cup is shaping up to be a bust. That's not true. Rob, did I not say this 3 weeks ago on this show? 3 weeks ago, I came out and said it feels like a scam to me.
You said scam, which is the same but different.
Yeah, but okay, I'm saying is, so don't say nobody has been willing to say it. Somebody has been willing to say it. I then was reading it, and honestly, this article says almost everything I said on the show yesterday. The matches at Arrowhead will be electric if you can stomach the ticket prices. International visitors will wander our streets and take photos at barbecue places, and the residents will have a great story to tell our grandkids. But the gaudy numbers that have been dangling in front of hotel owners and downtown restaurants, the one that had Airbnb operators rubbing their hands together like cartoon villains, they belong in the bin, as the Brits say. Now, we'll get back to this story. This is literally everything that I said on the show yesterday. Now, we all live in the same place, so I'm sure you've had this conversation with somebody over the last 6 months. Hey, man, the World Cup's doing. What are you going to do about your house? Are you going to go Airbnb it out? People were talking about the World Cup getting here was going to be everybody's opportunity to get rich. I remember having a conversation with somebody a year ago, because, I'm in the process of trying to move into my first home. Somebody told me that if I Airbnb'd my house, they thought I would make enough to put a sizable down payment. Like, the money you can make this much. And I was like, really? You think so? Like, I was really listening to it. And I started doing more research, and I was like, I don't know. This doesn't sound right to me. You remember they had people in Weston, Olathe, Tonganoxie, people all over trying to Airbnb their house in hopes of getting rich. Bruh, nobody's Airbnb in your house in Olathe for the World Cup, man. I'm sorry to tell you that. The story then goes on to say, our report, so the STARS report, is from the American Hotel Lodging Association. This is the one that we read to you yesterday. And it asked the question. The question was simple. Are hotels actually performing versus expectations? The answer is ugly, especially here. This association identified Kansas City as, quote, the most negatively impacted host market in the survey. The market is, quote, oversupplied, underperforming, and highly rate sensitive relative to normal summer benchmarks. Now, we don't got to go through this entire story. I have been saying this. The math ain't mathin'. There was a story like 2 months ago from KCI, and they said their flight data does not match the numbered projections. They were telling us this 2 months ago that this is going to be the case. Now that we're almost here, 6 weeks away, less than 6 weeks away from the World Cup being here, now that we are here, we just got to start calling it like it is. We got to start calling it like it is. It is not going to be the spectacle that we thought it was going to be in the city. I don't doubt that it's not going to be cool. The fan stuff is going to be cool. Go down there and see the Chainsmokers. Go down there and see Flo Rida. Go to some restaurants. I'm sure there'll be a lot of stuff. I'm sure P&L is going to be packed, and people are going to be watching the games and watching the United States and celebrating this cool event coming to Kansas City. I am sure that that is going to be the case. As many people are coming as much as they think, and we have been preparing for this thing like this was going to be everybody's lottery ticket, and you are starting to scratch it off and starting to see that you are not going to have the winning numbers. I 100% believe this.
Allow me to self-promote for 1 second here. Scott Parks and I, on our latest episode of Beyond the Pitch KC, which we're releasing tomorrow, talked about this. I'm wondering if this problem is unique to Kansas City, though. Like, if we called friends of ours who do radio in Miami, friends of ours who do radio in Atlanta,
Can
LA,
I read this story to you?
Because I think Kansas City might be the one lagging behind compared to everyone else. So I'm not defending the people who made gaudy numbers, but if Vancouver is cooking, the thought was Kansas City would also be cooking.
I want to read this to you. This is from the Star. Kansas City is the worst case, but it's not alone. Most host cities are running behind projections. Miami and Atlanta hotels are outperforming, but everybody else is tracking closer to a regular summer than a global spectacle. Now, we don't got to get super political here, and I will try to walk this line. I don't know if right now is the best time for the United States to be hosting an international event. I just don't know if now's the right time to be doing it. Would you travel to the United States right now if you're not from here? I just don't know if right now is the best time to be doing that. I've been saying this now for weeks, Robin. You've heard me say this. If you were planning on coming to the Netherlands game and you were from the Netherlands and you haven't made plans to do that on Cinco de Mayo, you're not coming. You're not coming. You're going to watch it at home. You're going to watch it at whatever country you're from. You're going to support your team. I don't think this is going to affect the television ratings. People love soccer. It is an international sport. But yeah, people are just not traveling to America right now. Now, we can keep going through it and why this is the case, but I will continue to maintain. I just don't think it's going to be the boom that a lot of people were expecting it to be. I'm sure it will be for some people. I don't think everybody, but in the same way for the draft, you remember once the draft left, there were all those stories of small businesses that prepared and overstaffed, and then they looked up and they lost money because of the draft. If you are one of those companies, I would start scaling back now because I think it is going to end up very badly for you in about 7 weeks or so. I think you are hoping that we get the international Messi versus Ronaldo. I think that's the only way that this thing blows out of the water, in my opinion, is based on all the data. Coming up on the other side, let's switch gears. Let's talk a little bit of football. I asked Rob to fill in the blank. I wish the Chiefs did what this offseason? He'll answer it next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5, The Fan. When severe weather hits, tune in to 98.1 KMBZ for Operation Stormwatch, brought to you by Century Roofing, proudly voted the #1 roofing company in all of Kansas City. CenturyRoofingKC.com.
Baseball is back, and BetMGM, official partner of Major League Baseball, is bringing the high heat all season long. All season long, you can log into the BetMGM app and receive top-tier promos that put you in the batter's box and up the excitement for America's pastime. Step up to the plate all season with Swing for the Fences, the free-to-play game where every swing could score you rewards. We're talking parlay boost tokens, odds boost tokens, same-game parlay boost, and even bonus spins all season long. And the action doesn't stop there. Get more out of every at-bat and every inning with MLB Same-Game Parlay Boost. Stack your picks and boost your potential payout. Plus, lock in bigger value with MLB Odds Boost Tokens and MLB Parlay Boost Tokens all season long. More boost, more swings, more chances to win. Download the BetMGM app and step up to the plate today.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams sale and get 30% off duration, woodscapes, and super deck products May 1st through the 11th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals, and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack in the $6 Biggie Bag. Or go full-on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie Bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. $4, $6, and $8 biggie deals how you want them at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Royals coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door. Forward and back, RENNER.
Almost Andy Reid here. It's Mental Health Awareness Month, and Renner Garage Door is giving back. 5% of sales go to Authentic Life Foundation, and you get 5% off your project. Visit rennerdoor.com.
RENNER, RENNER.
Range Bait with Dusty Likens is now up on the Fan's YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter channels. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
All right, you know what? Let's talk a little bit of football here. I promise you we'll get back to the Royals. Vern's going to be on the show in the 4 o'clock hour, so I don't want you to think that we are neglecting the Royals. We are certainly not. We led the show earlier today talking about Jack Caglione. Jack Caglione did this yesterday.
The 1-1. Caglione drills it high in the air, deep right field. His bat ablaze. It's a homer over the Royals bullpen. A Caglione clout on his own bobblehead night.
We also were talking about a story where right now there are 31 states that have a shot clock for high school basketball. 19 of them are behind. It just got shot down in New Jersey. It also just got shot down in Indiana. I had a friend text me and say, as a former administrator at a Class 1 and Class 3 school, we couldn't find competent people to run the regular clock, let alone the shot clock. It cost around an extra $5,000 to implement the shot clock, plus the additional $40 or $50 a night to have someone operate the shot clock. But I do think eventually Missouri will go to every school having a shot clock. An extra $4 to $5 grand, Rob, to implement the shot clock. I certainly understand why there was some school administration that just said, nope, we're not paying for that.
I mean, I'm not disputing the text you got. I'm not disputing the stat. You can't have like the JV coach run it. You can't have a high school teacher run it. You can't have the English department come down and make some extra cash by clicking the shot clock button. But okay, all right. I'm not going to argue the stat. It just seems a little high to me, but whatever.
So we're going to be joined by Trevor Sikkema here coming up in a little bit. He covers the NFL draft, a lot of draft stuff. I'm still really intrigued by the Chiefs draft and getting various opinions on it. So we'll do that here coming up in a bit. So, Rob, you know that we love a good fill-in-the-blank question. Well, I want you to fill in the blank. I wish the Chiefs did what this offseason? I think you would agree that I would say 90 to 95% of the Chiefs' moves are done. Now, I think there could possibly be one more move, and maybe one more noticeable move. I could also see them making a couple of depth roster building, fill out the rest of the roster. Hey, this guy used to be good in 2022. Let's see if he has something left. But I think we would all agree that the heavy lifting, for the most part, is done for the Kansas City Chiefs, aside from a July, August, right before training camp, they bring in a veteran. So, you know that we love saying this on the show when football gets here. Some things are March and April problems. We are past the March and April problems. So, if you're worried about wide receiver, when we get to October, oh, well, what about you had chances to address that? You chose not to as an organization. Man, I wish we had done more on the defensive line. Man, why can't we get after the quarterback? You had time to answer that and address that in March and April, and you chose to go in a different direction. So, Rob, I will give you the floor. Fill in the blank. I wish the Chiefs did what this offseason?
Improve wide receiver. All offseason, I was screaming and yelling about edge rush. And I actually walk away from how the Chiefs handle edge rush relatively pleased. I think they could have done more, but it's not like they didn't address it. They did something to make it better. R. Mason Thomas is an improvement. They have done something. Do I think Peter Woods, albeit he's a defensive tackle, that is something. I think they have done some things to improve their edge rush. I wish it was more, but they did a thing. If you want me to fill in the blank, I wish the Chiefs had done blank this offseason, address wide receiver. Because Rashee Rice is an enigma. When he is on the field, whether it be from health or his own problems, he is shown to be a productive wide receiver. The problem is he's not on the field all the time. And me and you are apparently the only people in town that don't give him a pass for the way he got injured. He got injured in one of his NFL seasons. Also, forgotten history, he missed the last couple of games last year because of a concussion, albeit that might have been a we're trying to lose situation, but he missed games. Xavier Worthy, I don't think is a bust, but he is definitely not a number 2, put him in pin, we know what we have type of wide receiver in the NFL.
He's trending towards becoming a bust.
He's definitely more bust than known commodity. He definitely is not, hey, we got great wide receiver 2 options. Tyquan Thornton, again, I feel like me and you are the only people in town that point this out. He just stopped getting the ball last season.
Agreed.
He got, 30 targets? Now, I know there are people in the text line that will wax poetically about those 30 targets, but 30 targets is nothing in the target share game. Now, it's going to up this year because it has to, but it's hard to be like, man, our third wide receiver is a guy who got 30 targets last year. I don't care about Nico Remigio, and I don't care about Jalen Royals. I've never seen either of them do anything in the NFL, and I'll just wait and see on the rookie. I will give him the benefit of the doubt of a wait and see. I believe it's Cyrus out. Doesn't matter. Their top 3 wideouts to me are a question mark, and all they did this offseason was a mid to late round pick to help it out. If you ask me back on December whatever when the Chiefs were eliminated, what I had on my wish list, actual wide receiver improvement was one of those things, and they did not do that this offseason.
All right. I need you to do me 2 favors. I have a question, and then I have an ask. Can you get the NFL music ready? Because I want to go through some of the available wide receiver options. And you are not drafting anybody. You are going to have to go potentially pick somebody off of this list. Who is somebody from this list that you would be very interested in? The other thing I have for you is a question. Did you want the Chiefs to do more in the draft at wide receiver, or did you want them to do more early on in free agency when it comes to wide receiver? Because at least early on in free agency, they were not going to go get Kenneth Walker and take a big swing at wide receiver. They told us, they told you, they told everybody what they thought their need was, and they spent the money to go get Kenneth Walker. Now, I cannot lie, I am a little bit surprised that for the most part, they did nothing at wide receiver. The only improvement that they have made to the wide receiver room is fire Connor Embry and bring in Chad O'Shea. For the most part, they are running almost everything back from last year. They didn't throw any new blood into the mix. At least with defensive line, they threw some new blood in the mix. At least with just about every other position group. Hell, they threw new blood in the quarterback room. They threw almost no new blood into the wide receiver room for the most part. So that does surprise me just a little bit. 2 things here before we're joined by Trevor Sikkema. The first thing is, did you want them to do more in the draft and spend 9, 29, etc. at wide receiver, or was this something you wanted them to address on day 1 of free agency?
I mean, in a perfect world, knowing you know me, I would have done it day 1. I wouldn't have addressed Kenneth Walker on day 1, so I would have addressed it on day 1. But let's live in the world that exists, not the world I wanted to live in. They signed Kenneth Walker. They could have drafted him at They had 9. I know they traded up. They could have drafted him at 9. They could have drafted at 29. They could have drafted at 40. I know they traded away 75. They could have done that at 75 if they had kept the pick. I would have liked to see Thursday or Friday they walk away with a wide receiver. Also, just because you didn't take the big swing, Alec Pierce, I believe, was the biggest paid name.
He did get a big bag.
There were other wide receivers available. The Colts doled off Michael Pittman for basically nothing. Were the Chiefs in on that conversation? Were the Chiefs making phone calls to get Michael Pittman? Michael Pittman would be a massive improvement to this team's wide receiver room. So to answer your question, yes, I would like to have seen some investment in the first, second, third round or in early free agency, but their only move was we re-signed Tyquan Thornton. That's just not enough to me.
All right. If you hit the NFL music, I want to go through. There's actually a lot of names on here that people have heard of. Let's go through some of them. Juwan Jennings, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Hopkins, Brandon Cooks, Curtis Samuel, Tim Patrick, Juju Smith-Schuster, Tyler Lockett, Scotty Miller. Like, you've heard of a lot. Alan Lazard is on this list. You've heard of a lot of these names. Now, I think we all would agree at this stage, none of these guys are number 1 or number 2. But if the Chiefs are looking for a number 3 wide receiver, I do think that guy is available in free agency, and I think you could get one of those guys for relatively cheap. A majority of these guys are going to be on a roster. Everybody is not getting the salary that they demanded. It becomes a supply and demand at this point. And when you're a 30-year-old, injured, off the field issues, injury, whatever it could possibly be, you kind of got to get in where you fit in. So if you want the Chiefs to go get a wide receiver, it's a little bit different at defensive end. There are not a lot of defensive ends that can step in and immediately help you. There's 7 to 10 names at wide receiver of guys that are upgrades that could improve this room. Are you interested in them going out and getting somebody from this list?
I mean, yes, I'm interested in that. I'd also tell you, despite them being big names, that list is the red flag of Palooza. Like, we can go through each team. I mean, Jawan Jennings might be the safest bet on that list. Tyreek Hill, coming off a major injury. Stephon Diggs, off the field, issues galore. Curtis Samuel's just, I guess there's no issue there, but he's just okay, I guess. Brandon Ayuk, does he want to play football? Does anyone know? Has anyone seen or heard from him?
That's all fair questions. Some of these guys are noticeable improvements over Tyquan Thornton. I know everybody likes Tyquan Thornton. Tyquan Thornton is a 4 receiver, and he is a kind of how the Chiefs used him. Now, maybe he has more, but last year they used him as a 50-50 home run ball. They didn't really trust him to do a whole lot else.
I think you're right. That list is a lot of guys better than Tyquan Thornton, which is an indictment on the room, not an indictment on that list. Because, I know we need to go to break, I was here last year when you were saying if guys are available in May, June, July, there's a reason.
Of course, for sure.
There's a lot of reasons on that list.
But you also, at this point,
you don't have options.
Yeah, you got to get in where you fit in.
The list is the list.
You had your chances to go get wide receiver. You didn't go get a wide receiver in free agency. You waited until the 5th round to go get a wide receiver. So now you go get somebody. Keenan Allen, to me, makes sense as a number 3 option. I'm not against them going to go get Deebo Samuel. I actually think that Diggs is about to be cleared of the off-the-field stuff. You've been following that case. That case is falling apart like a wet paper bag in court. I think Diggs is going to be in the NFL next year. There are options out there if the Chiefs want to throw somebody into the mix in that room. It's a little bit different on the other side of the ball. I'll throw you a name here that I would be very interested in. I'd be interested in David Njoku. I know it's not a wide receiver, but there's a couple of tight end names. I mean, David Njoku's available. Jonnu Smith is available. Darren Waller is available, who I actually thought played pretty decent at the end of the season. You want to talk about a room that could use some life into it and have a legitimate number 2 tight end and maybe reduce Kelsey's role a little bit. I might be all for them going out and spending a little bit of money and having a legitimate 2 tight end set than maybe getting some of those older wide receivers. We can come back to this. Coming up on the other side, we're going to be joined by Trevor Sickleman. He joined us before the draft. We're going to get his thoughts on the Chiefs draft, how he thinks they handled the offseason, and get his opinion. We'll do that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
Tune in to hear the Hall of Fame voice of the Royals, Denny Matthews.
There's a high fly ball, deep left center. Back goes Ward to the wall. Gone. Bobby Witt Jr.
Every Monday at 3, right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
At Telly Tire, when it comes to car problems, we've heard it all. From tires to timing belts to faulty air conditioning. Ooh. At Telly Tire and Auto Centers, we've been fixing problems like these and customers' bad days for over 80 years. So relax and take it to Telly. Schedule your service at tellytire.com.
And Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together.
We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Get a quote at libertymutual.com
or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Spring is here, and as the weather heats up, the sports action heats up at Circus Sports. From baseball to basketball to hockey, Circus Sports has it all. Circus Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service. Whether you're looking for playoff futures or props on your favorite players and more, Circus Sports has you covered. And don't miss out on the special Royals props for every game. Download Circus Sports app or visit circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Wouldn't you like to take a vacation from your bills? Well, you can. With credit card balances at an all-time high and Golden Oak's 4.5% rate, you could be saving thousands of dollars after a simple phone call. Call today and get your cash in as little as 14 days and make no payments for 2 months. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing, cured my blues.
5.442 APR, FHA 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit, additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
This Mother's Day, give Mom what she actually wants, a day off and a meal she'll talk about until next year. At Smokehouse Barbecue, we're doing Mother's Day the right way. We're talking world-class burnt ends, tender pulled pork, and our signature slow-smoked ribs, all served with the kind of hospitality Mom deserves. Whether you're dining in or carrying out, Smokehouse Barbecue is the way to go. Make Mother's Day legendary. Visit them in Independence, Gladstone, and Zona Rosa or at smokehousebbq.com. For over 35 years, it's Smokehouse Barbecue.
Hi, I'm John Ray, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. Getting engaged? So friends, listen up. Shane Company engagement rings are protected with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. We stand behind the same quality we've offered since 1929. Our rings are crafted to last. It's why our warranty is the only one that protects your center stone. We also cover repairs, resizings, cleanings, and so much more. That's money you keep for you and your family. Because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
How old is your roof? If it's over 15 years old, it could be time to replace it before small issues become major problems. At Century Roofing, we've installed over 35,000 roofs in more than 35 years right here in Kansas City. We know what to look for, and we know how to protect your home. Schedule your free inspection today and let our team give you peace of mind. Trust the pillars of strength with KC-based and female-owned. Century Roofing, KC.com.
Century Roofing, trust the pillars of strength.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. When your day needs a reset, try the all-new energy refreshers. Strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit, or the all-new mango strawberry. The refreshers you love, now with extra caffeine. New energy refreshers only at Starbucks.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast.
Pump up the volume.
When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
This report is brought to you by CMOs & Son, HVAC, plumbing, and electrical services. CMOsandSon.com.
Dispatch, this is Mindy at CMOs & Son.
Well, boy, it's getting hot out there. Now, if your AC is making funny noises, just needs a once-over, or your home isn't as cool as it used to be, visit CMOsandSons.com. CMOs & Sons. License 202919.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Missouri side 70 westbound Oak Grove into Green Valley. Long delays with an earlier accident, but construction maintaining the slowdowns from the Broadway exit, not quite to the Buckner exit. East side 70 westbound heavy from 435 past 31st Street with construction. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Hey, it's Trey Smith from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to the Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Let's head to the phone lines right now and really break down the Chiefs draft with Trevor Sickham, and he's with the NFL Stock Exchange. Trevor, happy to have you join us on the show today, man. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, guys, appreciate you having me.
So we asked this question last week to our guests, so I'm happy to ask this question to you. My word would be refresh. I thought that's what the Chiefs did with this NFL draft. If you had to use one word to describe the Chiefs draft, what word would you use?
Yeah, I mean, I like that word. I don't know, like rejuvenated, new life. There's a hyphen in there with new life, because we got to make it one word. But yeah, I mean, it would be something like that. And I think that different would also be a word that I would use for Kansas City, because when you look at some of the players they drafted, they're different than what we normally see from Kansas City or, the Steve Spagnuolo defense. When we talk about corners, we're talking about players that have really long arms or pluses when it comes to size. The same thing on the defensive line. And here they are taking a player like Mason Thomas, for example, who is not built like a traditional, I would say, Steve Spagnuolo defensive lineman, right? But he gives you that juice. It's something that they didn't have. Mansour Delane, for as great as a corner as he is, he's not exactly built the way that Spagnuolo corners typically are. He's got shorter arms. The same thing for Jaden Kennedy. But both of those guys, I think, are good football players. You could even say the same thing about Peter Woods, kind of depending on how you want to deploy him between defensive end and interior defensive lineman. But he's a little bit on the smaller side when it comes to overall length and size for an interior defensive lineman. So to me, I would categorize it as different, but I would use the word different in a good way. I think the Chiefs were missing these types of players on their defense. So I was surprised at how they drafted, because it was just very different than the players that they normally go after. But I do think that it was a good investment for them to try something a little bit differently, because I do think that things were missing on that side of the ball when it came to just having a little bit more juice on the team.
Right now, we're talking to Trevor Sikkema with the NFL Stock Exchange. He covers the NFL draft. We're going through the Chiefs draft. You mentioned Mansour Delane. It sounds like you are a fan. How would you describe his game? What do you think his ceiling is?
Yeah, I mean, so the player comp that I had for Mansour Delane was Denzel Ward. And when you look at these guys, I mean, both of them win because they've got such quick feet. They can change direction very quickly. They can take contact and have great balance when you're playing in press. You could flip the hips to run and immediately get into your top speed and get vertical very, very quickly. And we know that Denzel Ward is at his best, just one of the better shutdown corners in the NFL. So Ward has played the majority of the snaps on the outside. I feel like that'll be the case with Delane, but he can play a little inside out for you as well. But to me, it's the quickness in which he plays that really stands out from him. So I do like the pick. He was a top 10 overall player for me, and so selecting him at number 6 in the top 10, certainly trading up to do so, it makes sense to me, especially after trading Trent McDuffie. They needed somebody who could be a chess piece for them on the defensive side of the football, and I think in the secondary, Mansour Delane gives you that ability.
Do you think he can be in the conversation of best corner in the league? Because in my opinion, if you're going to spend the 6th overall pick on a guy and you're going to use 3 draft picks to go get him, you got high expectations about what he could turn out to be.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the idea, right? Again, my comp for him being Denzel Ward, I mean, Ward at his best has been in that conversation for the best cover corner in the NFL. So just watching how that guy moves and the stickiness in which he played this past season, Delane, I'm saying, you've got to feel like that's the ceiling for him, is that you don't really draft a corner in the top 10 unless you feel like he's true CB1 potential and a guy that you can feel pretty good about every single week going up against the other team's number 1 receiver or whatever their passing scheme is going to be. So to me, that is the way that I viewed Mansour Delane. I felt as though Tremont McCoy was kind of the same. I had both those guys very close when it came to my rankings, but clearly the knee injuries and the concerns there were a big, big, big issue with McCoy, and not having that with Delane, it makes sense why he ended up being a top 10 pick.
Right now, we're talking to Trevor Sikkema going through the Chiefs draft. Last thing on Delane, and I want to get to the other Chiefs draft picks. When you were on the show a couple of weeks ago, a major reason why I didn't ask you about Delane is I didn't think they were going to take a corner because they don't pay corners. Is that a concern for you? Does that matter? Let's say that Delane turns out to be Denzel Ward. Well, that's a guy that I would want to pay, but the Chiefs have kind of shown they don't want to pay that guy.
Yeah, I think that when you look at how teams navigate the salary cap, right, I don't think it's as quite as like a hard and fast rule or a universal truth as we maybe believe on the outside, because we're sort of reacting to just the end result of some of their decisions. I'm sure that when you look at when you go behind the scenes for the Chiefs let's say like corners and defensive backs that you're referencing that they don't give second contracts to, I'm sure that there is a conversation there at least, right? It's not like, well, this guy's really good, but fundamentally we just don't do that. Maybe they go into the conversation saying, hey, it takes a lot for a corner to be worthy of a second contract, in our opinion, but there's still a conversation. So I don't take that completely into account with, a Mansour Delaney saying like, well, they got 4, maybe 5 years out of him, and then that's going to be it. Hey, maybe that ends up being the case, but there's certainly a world where maybe the timing, maybe their salary cap ends up being a factor in favor of keeping this player around. And so I don't go too much into saying like, well, they're just going to have this guy for one contract, and because of that, you can't really draft him that high. I think they're just trying to select players within the top 10 that are playing those premium positions. And a lot of times when we talk about premium positions, we say either quarterback, pass protector, or pass rusher. But I would tell you that a true number one wide receiver and also a true number one shutdown corner are premium positions as well. It's a little bit of, the vowels that, sometimes count, right? And sometimes why? Well, and sometimes shutdown corners and wide receivers kind of come into that premium position conversation. So given the fact that the way that Mansour Delaney plays is that of a premium position corner, it still garners that top 10 overall consideration.
Trevor, let's get your thoughts on Peter Woods. What do you make of him as a prospect? What do you make of the selection at 29?
Yeah, so I was a little bit lower on Peter Woods, and I think it's hard when you do big boards in a vacuum, right? It's hard when I just say, hey, I'm analyzing these guys sort of as an independent draft analyst. But the reality is that these teams are operating under different circumstances, and I think team-specific big boards are a little bit more powerful in that regard. I think Woods is a fit for Kansas City, and I think he would have, if I was doing a team-specific top 100, he would have been higher than where I had him in a vacuum on my big board, because I think that certainly playing next to Chris Jones and, having Omar Norman a lot in that rotation as well, like these are fast attacking defensive linemen that I think really allow them to now either just have waves of players at that position or multiple players of that position and that archetype on the field at the same time. So I wouldn't have loved every spot that Woods could have gone to in the first round, but I understand. I think that back end of the first round for Kansas City does make sense for him as a landing spot there. So, I worry a little bit about the shorter arms for them, even as an interior defensive lineman. And something that kind of gets me as I watch his tape is I felt like he won a lot off of just being quicker, normally stronger, and specifically a little faster and more athletic than the interior offensive lineman that he went up against in college. It's very, very difficult to win off of just athleticism at the pro level. There's just not a lot of athletes in the world that can do it. And so I always get a little bit nervous when guys are just they're leaning too much on their athletic ability and not enough with, technique or pass rush plan or things like that. So I think that's going to be something that Woods is going to have to continue to develop if he's going to even live up to the first round billing where he got picked. But I do think that it's a good spot for him to develop and do so.
One thing that really is intriguing to me about the Woods pick is, the next 3 selections all have ties to Kansas City, in my opinion. The pick after Woods is Omar Cooper. Chiefs very easily could have gone wide receiver there. 2 picks later, it's Falk, who goes to Tennessee, a pass rusher. The Chiefs end up getting a pass rusher at 40, and we'll get to R. Mason Thomas. And then the last pick of the first round is Jadarian Price, and he went in the first round because the Chiefs took their running back in Kenneth Walker. There's a lot of different options that I think Kansas City could have gone down with the 29th overall pick. Do you think they made the right decision out of those 3 players between Woods, Cooper, and Falk?
Yes, I do. I think that Falk to me, and I was lower on Falk than I think a lot of other draft analysts, but Falk to me doesn't solve the problem on their defensive line. They have George Karlaftis, who is a good pressure player. But then they have Ashton Gillotte and Felix Anudike-Uzomah, right? And I think that they want more, right? They want more from one of those positions because both of those players have good strength. They can hold the line of scrimmage, but are they going to be the pass rushers that you need them to be? That's basically the way that I describe Keldrick Falk. So for Kansas City, I'd much rather have R. Mason Thomas than Keldrick Falk. R. Mason Thomas at least gives you a shot, a legitimate shot, instead of just a what if and hope, to be a better pass rusher and to give them something a little bit different on that defensive line. When it comes to Omar Cooper Jr., sure, like they could have drafted Omar Cooper Jr. I think he would have been good on this team. But when I thought about Kansas City, when I thought about wide receivers specifically, it was basically like they're either using number 9 on a wide receiver, or I don't think they're going to pick one, because there are a lot of teams that I will describe this way every single draft season. They don't have a wide receiver need. They have a wide receiver 1 need. Like they could afford, like Carolina was this way last year, right? Where if they don't take Tetsuo McMillan, they probably don't draft a wide receiver. You got Jalen Coker, you got Xavier Legette. You had multiple wide receiver options like throughout your team that you could have felt okay with, but you could have used a wide receiver 1. So, if Kansas City had the opportunity to take, if they wanted Jordan Tyson, or if they wanted Carnell Tate, or whoever they viewed as a wide receiver 1, that's where I felt like they would have added a wide receiver. But without picking that at the very top, I'm not surprised at all that they didn't go for wide receiver later in the draft.
Right now, we're talking to Trevor Sikkema. He's with the NFL Stock Exchange. Be sure to check it out. A very popular podcast that covers the draft. You covered it just a little bit here, but I want to kind of dive deeper into it. I just asked my producer before you hopped on, what's one thing you wanted the Chiefs to do more this offseason? He said invest in wide receiver. Are you surprised that this offseason, for the most part, they left the wide receiver room untouched aside from their wide receiver coach, Chad O'Shea?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. Yeah. But it kind of goes back to, what I was just saying. Like, very clearly they loved Mansour Delane, and they really wanted to come away in the top 10 with that player. If you take him away and you get, I know Carnell Tate wasn't available, but, if you give yourself an opportunity to draft a Jordan Tyson, because obviously they traded up to number 6 and they would have had the opportunity to do that, depending on what you thought of Mekhi Lemon, but Mekhi, goes much later, of course. But outside of making that big splash at wide receiver, again, like, I don't think that they just had a random wide receiver need. Rice obviously has been very productive for them. Worthy gives you the speed element, and you're hoping that he's going to round out his game a little bit more. Thornton gives you the deep threat. You have Jalen Royals, who I felt like was a sort of a draft gem last year as well. Now you draft in Cyrus Allen, who I think is a draft gem for them a little bit later as well. I'm not really that surprised that they didn't add somebody, knowing the fact that they weren't going to add somebody at the very top. If you tell me they weren't going to add somebody with that number 9 pick, then no, I'm not really surprised. I'm more surprised that they didn't do anything along the offensive line. Now, that's also coming from an outsider's perspective, right? You guys have a little bit closer of a finger on the pulse to the team and sort of what they thought, but man, I mean, I looked at this offensive line and I was like, all right, you do have Jalen Moore, but not a long-term option. You got Wanya Morris. You have Asa Paul. I mean, those are options for you. Camp battle, seeing who plays the best. And I love Josh Simmons. I had Josh Simmons as a top 20 player last year. And if you tell me that, hey, he's good to go, he's the tackle of the future, he's going to be durable, he's going to be out there, it's all good to go, then okay. But obviously he was unavailable last year, and so there were question marks there. But I was a little bit more surprised from wide receiver that they didn't do anything at offensive tackle, because I felt like they had a little bit of the options to do so a little bit later in the first round.
Let's move down to the 40th overall pick now. I got a 2-part question here. We'll start with the first part here. R. Mason Thomas, you a fan or not a fan?
Huge fan. I love R. Mason Thomas. He's awesome. And it's, again, especially for this team, I think that he gives them something a little bit different. He plays a great leverage. He's a speed demon with his first step off the snap. There's going to be longer, more seasoned pro offensive tackles that are going to be able to neutralize him a little bit easier. But especially if you want to throw a lot of different resources at the pocket, blitz a little bit more, he's somebody that you can move all around the line of scrimmage. And, man, he plays with his hair on fire. I mean, his motor is always running hot. And so I love the effort that he plays with. And I just think that he gives them something different than what they had on their defensive line. So, yeah, I was a huge fan of this one.
The same way that I talked to you about 29 and I thought there were various options, funny enough, the same thing ended up happening at 40. R. Mason Thomas comes off the board. The very next pick to Cassius Howell, who's from the Kansas City area, graduated from a Kansas City high school, and then Zion Young, who went to Mizzou, which is right down the street. Out of those three prospects, do you feel like the Chiefs made the right decision?
I think, Cassius Howell and R. Mason Thomas, I think, they're toss-ups for me. I had Howell ranked a little bit higher, so I suppose I would say that I would have taken Howell in the group, because the way that I would talk about Cassius Howell is similar to how I would talk about R. Mason Thomas. Guys who don't have a lot of length, but they win with relentlessness. They win with a quick first step off the line of scrimmage. I think maybe what makes the R. Mason Thomas pick the decision that they came to is, to me, he gives you a little bit more physicality in the run. And Howell, he's got a little bit better pass rush win percentage numbers and pass rush grades, but he's not as strong against the run as R. Mason Thomas is. So I think it was a little bit of, hey, we've got these two guys where they're both a little deficient when it comes to the measurables, but Thomas, over the last couple of years, has really remained a difference maker, and he's really remained a strong presence against the run. So I think that's probably what won it out for them.
Talking to Trevor Sickerman here for a couple more minutes, getting his thoughts on the draft. I got two final questions here. I feel like with the Chiefs draft, you have 6, 29, and 40, and they're in one group, and then there's such a big gap that then all the other picks are in another group. So after you get past R. Mason Thomas, with the remainder of the Chiefs draft picks, which one of those do you like the most? Who do you think has the highest potential out of that second group?
Well, I think that Emmett Johnson's an interesting one for them, right? But it's going to be a little bit I was kind of a wait and see for me there, because I thought Rashard Smith was going to get a lot more playing time than he did the previous season, when it felt like there just wasn't a lot of juice to be had in that backfield. And he was one of the players that I thought had the ability to really bring them more speed and be more dynamic, and they really didn't lean into him. Now, I know he's a rookie, so maybe, there's responsibility stuff behind the scenes of, okay, is he picking up blocks the way he needs to? Is he seeing the blocking concepts the way that he needs to? All that kinds of stuff. Maybe they just thought that he was sort of coming along in that regard. But I think that Emmett Johnson gives you a little bit more of that finesse, is kind of what I'm trying to say. And that running back room just looks totally different with Kenneth Walker at the top. You still have Rashard Smith there, but then Emmett Johnson still just gives you more finesse and more of a quick game. So very interested to see how he plays out. But I'm a big Jaden Kennedy fan as well. Like, I think there's a world where Jaden Kennedy could push for the starting nickel job. I really liked what I saw from him at Oregon. He's not the fastest when it comes to long speed, but I watched him in Shrine Bowl practices, and he was one of the best players that was there. So I just love the mentality that he plays with. I think he's really smart. He's got good quickness. He's got a good instinct for when the ball is coming out, when to break on routes, when to take chances, when to not. So I'm a big Jaden Kennedy fan as well. I think there's a chance he could be a big difference maker for them.
I'll get you out of here with this last question. I am concerned about this with the Chiefs. I don't know where the pass rush is coming from, because you have Chris Jones and George Karlaftis on one side, and then every other option they have is completely unproven. I really want them to go get Cam Jordan, I think, as a one-year veteran option that can kind of be a bridge until some of those young guys develop. You mentioned it earlier about the defense, and I like some of the potential, but you got a lot of guys on the opposite side of George Karlaftis that have just never done it at this level.
Yeah, I think that's the worry, right? And, you have a handful of names. You're hoping that R. Mason Thomas gets his name into the mix there. You're hoping that Peter Woods and Omar Norman-Lott are able to get into that rotation on the interior as well. But, Cam Jordan, I think maybe, that could be an option, but he's, not the Cam Jordan that we all remember. He's taken a step back in his age as well. And so if you were worried about the pass rush and having that juice to get in the backfield, I don't know if that's going to be a viable option for you. Maybe it would be your best option just from a veteran perspective, but I think you're really hoping that one of those guys on the roster is going to be able to step up more than Cam Jordan would be able to at his age. So it really is just hey, one of these guys has a lot of opportunities, and that includes some of the young guys and some of the rookies. And there's no doubt that this team needs these guys to step up.
That is Trevor Sikkema joining us on the show today. He covers the NFL draft, taking a deep look at the Chiefs, and we have wrapped everything up. Trevor, happy to talk to you, man. Appreciate you coming on, man. We'll catch up with you down the line. Thanks for your time.
Sounds good. I appreciate you guys having me anytime.
Absolutely. That is Trevor Sikkema joining us on the show today to break down the NFL draft. I don't know about you guys. I'm still very much interested and intrigued at the Chiefs draft and what that means for this season. Coming up on the other side, let's take a little bit of a detour here. Today is Cinco de Mayo. Vern coming up at 4 o'clock. Keep it right here, so Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison, the go-to show for dating advice you didn't ask for.
If you got to ask your girl to help on the bill on Valentine's Day, you've done something wrong.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5, The Fan.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Hello, this is Jason Gudenkoff with Lewisburg Ford in Lewisburg, Kansas, the home of $50 over factory invoice. Since 1979, our $50 over factory invoice pricing has been saving Kansas City Ford buyers thousands of dollars when buying a new Ford. Our no-hassle $50 over invoice pricing has helped us become the #1 F-150 dealer in the state of Kansas. And now, for the 9th time, the #1 F-150 dealer in the entire Kansas City area. At Lewisburg Ford, we understand that price is important, but it doesn't stop there. There's other factors to this equation: trade allowance, financing, and customer satisfaction. We don't just say that we're great at taking care of customers, we actually do it. Ford Motor Company has awarded us with the President's Award 23 times. This is the top honor that they give their Ford dealers for customer satisfaction in sales and in service. So if you're in the market for a new Ford, come see us at Lewisburg Ford. You can reach us at 816-444-2300 or on the web at lewisburgford.com.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Coming up tonight in the Pro Basketball Playoffs, Game 1 of the Western Conference Semifinal Series, Oklahoma City, a 15.5-point favorite against Los Angeles in purple and gold. Total in the game, 213.5. And a great job by LA in round 1. Its 41-year-old superstar taking down Houston. Oklahoma City, an entirely different challenge. I don't think LA has what it takes to keep this game close. LA's best player not going to be available for tonight's game. I think OKC wins, and OKC wins big. Give me OKC laying the 15.5. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Missouri only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I went to Staples for a custom printed graduation banner and invites and saw that Party City is now at Staples.
Wait, what?
Party City is now at Staples.
So now Staples has balloons.
Yep.
Decorations.
Yes.
Streamers, cups, table covers.
Yep, Staples has everything for a party. And now buy 2 get 1 free on select foil balloons.
Holy confetti! So the best party started at Staples.
That was easy.
In 613 select stores, exclusions apply. In-store or buy online. Pick up in-store only.
Harris, Kansas City is giving away $150,000 in prizes this mid-year's Eve. Saturday, June 6th. One lucky guest will walk away with $50,000 in cold hard cash at midnight. And leading up to the big finale, we are calling names to win $2,500 in free play every 15 minutes. The best part? You can earn entries all throughout May and June. Don't miss the hottest celebration of the summer, only at Harris, Kansas City. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
My perfect day has sand, salt, water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more. Visit our inventory at ShawneeMissionFord.com.
Hey, it's Cole, and I have exciting news. Ford has announced employee pricing for everyone. Over at Shawnee Mission Ford, you pay what they pay, and you still get the rebates and incentives offered by Ford, along with the top trade-in value from Shawnee Mission Ford, who's on a mission to do more in 26.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLInjuryLaw.com.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law, 816-888-7500. Mike's got this, and we've got the crash still working, and that is 35 northbound past 87th. Right lane is blocked. Southbound side, there's a stall as well, so slow through that area. 435 northbound at Eastwood. Be prepared to tap your brakes through there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
We'll get back to baseball coming up at the top of the hour. Josh Vernier will be on the show in 15 minutes. We'll get his thoughts on the Kansas City Royals. I want to say thanks again to Trevor Sikkema for being on the show. I'm still really intrigued by the Chiefs draft and the direction that they have decided to go. So really happy to really get a chance to kind of deep dive with that. We'll get back to the draft in a little bit, but today is Cinco de Mayo, so I wanted to share this opinion. If there was a draft and only alcoholic beverages were available, I think a margarita would be the #1 overall pick. Now, it might not be the most popular. I don't know. I'm sure somebody on the text line is going to send some, oh, well, actually. But this was my argument. I was telling this to Rob earlier. You know people that don't like beer. People that drink. Don't really like the taste of beer. Not really my thing. You don't know too many people that just don't like a margarita. Whether it's a frozen margarita, maybe it's just a margarita on the rocks. When you're on vacation, when you're on the beach and they're walking around and they got that nice little glass and they're handing out margaritas, you definitely want one. Salt around the rim, sugar on the rim, lime, strawberry, comes in different flavors, textures. Everybody's a fan. I think if you were doing an alcoholic beverage draft, I think margarita would be the #1 overall pick, which on today for Cinco de Mayo, if you're planning on going out there, hopefully you drink responsibly. You get yourself a couple of tacos, you get yourself some chips and salsa, maybe a little bit of queso, you have a margarita with your meal, and you have a good Tuesday, hopefully watching the Royals because the weather holds up.
So I don't disagree with you. I think margarita is a top-tier cocktail. But I don't think if you're having a pure draft of every single alcoholic beverage on earth, I don't think it goes ahead of beer. Cocktail-wise, yes. If you're at, I know that you didn't like my suggestion of going to Swordfish Tom's, but if you had gone to Swordfish Tom's, a cocktail bar, I bet margarita is very popular down there. If you're at Tom's
I didn't dislike Swordfish Tom's. I just didn't understand the menu.
that
was my issue with it. But the ambiance was nice. It was great. Everything about Swordfish Tom's until I looked at the menu, and they was throwing too many big words at me. Since I didn't understand those words, I took them as a sign of disrespect.
I just think as far as cocktail goes, margarita is one, but I think an ice cold beer is still ahead of it on the pure alcoholic beverage, because I'm betting if we looked at most sold alcoholic beverages, beer is definitely one with a bullet. I cannot imagine a margarita touches it in that capacity.
Yeah, but I think we're talking about different things just because beer comes in so many, like you can get a can, you can get a bottle, you're just there. It's real quick and like easy. But someone on the text line says this, a margarita is the Myles Garrett of picks. Everybody wants one. It's the ultimate disruptor. That's what I mean. Like if you were going out right now, let's say you and tonight, you're going out. Your wife is not picking a beer. Your wife is picking a margarita. If those are the two options, I just think it's versatile. It's also one of the few fruity drinks that as a man, you do not get judged by drinking. You don't judge anybody for drinking a margarita. Oh, what's that? Oh, I got a margarita. Oh, it's okay. So it's one of the drinks that you can put a little strawberry, a little lime, you can put all of those things with it and nobody judges you for drinking. That's what I think makes the margarita so versatile.
I also think, and this is just a surprising thing to me, because I like a margarita. I'll probably have a margarita tonight. On the rocks, no salt. But considering how popular the margarita is, it's surprising to me because I don't think tequila is that popular at all. I think tequila is one of those things that people are scared of.
This is a crazy opinion you have. This is a crazy opinion.
I think people view tequila as I had too many bad nights with that, and as a grown-up, I don't want tequila. I think that's I'm staying away from a type of liquor energy.
Yeah, I think that's crazy, because I think if you were out and you were like ordering a shot, I think right now, I'm not saying it's always been that case, I think tequila is the shot that most people are doing. Like if you were to say with a group of people and you say, everybody, let's do a shot, I think, and you start polling your friends, I think
straight
tequila,
liquor.
Yeah, just right there.
You're not getting like one of the, I'm going to get like a.
No, not like a lemon drop or a Vegas bomb or something. I'm talking if you were going to do a straight shot of liquor, I think most people would pick tequila.
There is no chance tequila is number one on the shot list. None. The answer is probably, now, this answer might be too America's. The answer is Fireball. Fireball is number one. People drink that like water. For a shot,
Let's move on.
yes. Fireball is one for shots.
Let's move on. People are drinking Fireball like water. You're drinking alcoholic Listerine like water. That's what you're drinking.
First off, Fireball ain't that bad. Alcoholic Listerine is Rumple.
No, that's what Fireball is.
Rumple.
I've been telling you this for years. Fireball is white people Hennessy. Like I don't know why y'all go so crazy about it. It's not good. It's not good.
People like cinnamon.
Just like Rob, you probably never had Hennessy before. No clue what it is.
I actually have had Hennessy before.
Once.
Yeah.
It
counts. You said ever. One time counts as ever.
No, you're right. My bad. I just no fire. You think that Fireball's the number one shot on the board? No chance.
You think? By the way, tequila has high variance. I think nice tequila has a chance. Bottom of the barrel tequila? No one's being like, give me your house tequila. I'll take 5 shots of it. No, thank you.
Yeah, I think you're behind on the tequila. I think tequila is much bigger than you're giving it credit. I think most of the time people, they kind of go in phases. Like a long time ago, I would say like when the Ciroc and Grey Goose era, people were drinking vodka. I now think people are drinking tequila. I think tequila is the go-to liquor right now.
See, I think now maybe this is just my America, my little niche. I think right now bourbon is the go-to one. Bourbon prices have just been banana land recently, so I think bourbon's the go-to liquor right now.
Someone on the text line says, C-Dot, have you ever been to Chiefs games? Fireball shooters outnumber all the other shots 100 to 1.
100% it does. Walk that parking lot.
No, for sure. Also, I would say to America's, I would just say
screwballs also. Okay, I would say screwballs.
I'm just saying, I look at the people going hard in the Arrowhead parking lot. I just think, yeah, the defense rests. It's a to America's thing. I'm not saying people don't drink Fireball. I'm saying that Fireball has not crossed over cultural lines is what I'm telling you. Just in the same way, I don't think the Hennessy has crossed over cultural lines. I don't think it's crossed over at all.
The question was top shot on the board. Whether it's My America, those people exist in the world.
They definitely exist.
They're
for sure.
part of the draft.
Fireball, though? Oh, my goodness. Want better for your life. That's what I want you to do. I want you to want better.
I'm not saying it's my favorite shot. I just think it's the most popular shot. If Shot Stop down in Waldo still existed, I bet Fireball would be near the top of the list.
Remember we went to, I'll never forget this. This was after the MU-KU game last year, so Rob and I went out.
You dragged me to that place.
And, you were in Columbia. You've already committed to the experience. You might as well go out. I'll never forget this. This is one of my favorite Rob stories. Rob is in full KU gear. He has a KU sweater on, a KU hat. He is just standing there in the middle of this bar at Columbia. He's not talking to anybody. I think it was the K-State Army game.
It was K-State Army.
Rob is just yelling at the screen. Just yelling at the screen about K-State. It's one of my favorite Rob stories. It's one of those you just had to be there. He's just in this KU openly rooting against K-State. It was quite the time. Coming up at the top of the hour, let's reset things. Let's get back to baseball. The Royals, they're playing winning baseball. We're going to talk to Vern about it. Keep it right here. So Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law, 816-888-7500. Mike's got this, and we've got the crash still working, and that is 35 northbound past 87th. Right lane is blocked. Southbound side, there's a stall as well, so slow through that area. 435 northbound at Eastwood. Be prepared to tap your brakes through there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is.
Just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
For nearly 100 years, Busey Wealth Management has helped families and businesses make smart financial decisions that stand the test of time. From personalized investment plans to tax strategies that work for you, we take a big picture approach, connecting you with the right experts to help protect what you've built and plan for what's next. Busey Wealth Management, here for every chapter of your financial story.
Mia from the Winnings Desk. Every Missouri lottery ticket helps support Missouri public education. Over $8 billion and counting. I was going to list every school, but yeah, there's over 2,400 of them. See the full list at molottery.com/education. Play it forward and play responsibly.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or vason-capted pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Ah. Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi, it's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, or struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more, getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work, be better in the bedroom, and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Royals coverage sponsored by Park and Go, the best deal on airport parking.
Trading the jacket for flip-flops? Start your sun-soaked getaway stress-free with Park and Go. All covered parking keeps your car cool and protected while you're catching rays. Quick shuttle straight to the terminal. Reserve now at bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family-owned, customer-approved.
What's up, KC? It's Chris Bubich. Tune in all season long to the play-by-play with Denny, Jake, Brian, and Stu right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
You guys know that line from the Godfather? Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. That's what it's like cheering for the Royals. Josh Vernier joins us on the show. Vern, there was a time there I wasn't sure we were going to be having twice a week appearances. I thought we were going to have to dial it back to one. But you know what? You're coming on twice this week. The Royals are the top story.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how you're feeling come Friday.
Okay, come on now. I got more confidence in the Royals than that. Don't do me like this.
We'll see. We'll be listening Friday at 3 o'clock. We'll see if you're talking to me or if you're talking about something that some wide receivers doing out there.
Okay, well, you know what? I feel like you do know the brand of the show. Let me ask you this, because it's Cinco de Mayo. Are you a crunchy shell or a soft shell taco guy?
Man, now that I'm an adult, now that I married someone with money, I'm using both and putting beans in between. I'm making a double-decker every time.
Okay, when you go get street tacos, what meat are you getting? You getting the pollo?
Chicken.
You getting the pollo? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Last thing here. So Rob and I were debating this. I said if you were doing an alcohol draft, I think the margarita would be the #1 overall pick. You don't know anybody that doesn't like a margarita. It sounds like you disagree. Sounds like you think something else would be the #1 overall pick. He said beer.
The #1 overall pick, yeah. To me, beer is the #1 overall pick because I'm passing on the margarita. It doesn't sit right with your boy. It messes up the stomach or, the acid, something. I don't understand what it's doing. I just know it doesn't agree with me. So, but I know not everybody drinks beer. Honestly, this wouldn't be the #1 pick. Those seltzers, you can drink like a million of them. I think everyone, if it's in front of them, knocks one of those back. You don't feel proud about it, but you could just bury those things.
Right now, we're talking to the Royals insider, Josh Vernier, also the alcohol insider, Josh Vernier. He's got takes. That's what we know. All right, Vern, let's just start here. How did we get here? Because this Royals team looked like a lot of Royals teams I saw in my early childhood, and now they are back in it. They realistically are back in it. How did they do this?
Well, take your pick. Well, the rotation remains one of the best in baseball, so that's always a nice constant, right? If you're going to pick one facet of the game to be consistently good at, it's your rotation, and the rotation's been very good, still one of the 10 best in the sport. To me, the biggest difference has been the bullpen. A bullpen that was bottom 5 in Major League Baseball has now climbed out and is, at least over the past 2 weeks, been in the top half of Major League Baseball. You're seeing Urseg settle in the 9th. Daniel Lynch emerge as a high-leverage guy. Matt Strom's the consistent vet. Even Nick Mears, a guy that you got for Angel Zerpa along with Isaac Collins this offseason. Zerpa, by the way, going to undergo Tommy John surgery, so that's a clear win for this Royals front office. So, pitching is always where it begins, but, there's no running from the fact that the offense was the biggest culprit, especially the big names at the top of the lineup. The offense was the biggest culprit in the month of April. An offense that still ranks in the bottom third of Major League Baseball. But CDOT, if you look at this stretch since the last homestand, this 2-week stretch, the Royals offense ranks, according to Fangraphs, as the 4th best group in baseball. It's a small sample size, no doubt, 2 weeks. But the only offenses producing at a higher clip than the Royals over the past 2 weeks are the 3 teams with the 3 best records in Major League Baseball, the Cubs, the Yankees, and the Atlanta Braves. So bottom line, top to bottom, we could talk about the base running. We could talk about the defense. They're just playing winning baseball. They're playing a better brand of baseball, and the teams that they're playing, especially the Angels last week and on occasion Seattle, the other team is making the mistake that ultimately costs big league teams games. The Royals were doing that for the first 4 weeks of the season. Thankfully, they've curbed that negative trend.
Do you have the Hawaiian Bros app?
I do not, no.
You got to be taking advantage of this, Vern. You got to.
No, man, ever since I got hooked up with Guaranteed Foods, I've been all set, man. I'm all set at home.
Right now, we're talking to our Royals insider, Josh Vernier. He loves alcohol, hates Hawaiian Bros. We're learning a whole lot about him in this interview.
I got nothing against him. Hooking the people up, I appreciate it. They got a shout-out on the post-game show last night, but they ain't paying me. I ain't saying nothing about them.
I'm just expecting it one day we're going to get the news that the Hawaiian Bros just discontinue this promotion because it's cost them way too much money.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's happening.
Yeah, you just got to get in where you fit in right now. So every time it's available, I'm going to get it. Like, I am going to get tacos today for Cinco de Mayo, but I'm at least going to stop by Hawaiian Bros and have it for lunch tomorrow. You got to go get it.
I was going to say it is something that Tupperwares very nicely.
Yeah, for sure. You absolutely have to do it. All right, let's talk about the bullpen here. I do want to get your thoughts on the bullpen because, there was a stretch there where the bullpen was a problem. They had a lot of problems. The offense, as you mentioned, the bullpen was a problem. Their bullpen has been really, really good over the last 5 to 7 games, and they are potentially getting Carlos Estevez back. What do you make of the bullpen's turnaround, and where do you think Carlos Estevez fits in a bullpen that is really performing well?
Yeah, we'll see. Estevez on the hill coming up tonight in Indianapolis, pitching with the AAA team. His first appearance of a rehab assignment. Now, the team, talking with J.J. Piccolo yesterday, he says that Estevez is up to 92, 93 miles per hour out in Arizona during his live batting practices. Last season, Estevez sat about 96, so you'd like to see that velocity go up as the environment as the adrenaline possibly increases. I don't know how many people are going to be there in Indianapolis, how different it's going to feel than at the spring training facility, but maybe there's some adrenaline. Maybe we see an uptick in velocity. But even if you don't, so long as the strikes are there, so long as he's getting guys out, I don't see a way, unless Estevez over the next week and a half on this rehab assignment, which is, certainly going to last at least a week, probably multiple weeks, but we'll see. Unless his stuff is 96, 97, and he looks like the guy that went to the All-Star game last year, unless that happens, and I don't think there's anyone that's expecting that to happen during this rehab assignment, Carlos Estevez will get in where he fits in. I think he'll need to earn that closer's role back. I don't think this is something where it's, well, you're back and here's that job again. And I don't think Carlos will have, certainly he's a competitor, but I don't think he'll take umbrage with it. He understands what Lynch and Strom and Urseg have been doing at the back end of the bullpen. And if he is the guy that we saw last year go to the Midsummer Classic, he'll find his way back to that ninth inning. So I'm excited to watch him tonight. I still think we're probably a week and a half, 2 weeks away from really diving into where does he fit into this bullpen. Hopefully, the conversation that we're having right now about how good the bullpen is performing and, man, where does Estevez fit in? Hopefully, that's still how we're feeling 2 weeks from now.
Right now, we're talking to our Royals insider, Josh Fernier, going through the top storylines with the Royals. Let's talk about Jack Caglione. It reminds me of that scene in Happy Gilmore where Happy learns to putt a little bit. He's starting to figure some stuff out for sure.
Yeah, he's performing like you would expect. Now, he's performing like an organization in this market, in this league. He's performing like the number 6 overall pick better perform. Now, that's a reflection on the front office and ownership. If we're just talking about Cags, we talked about it last year. It's just not very often someone dominates Double-A, murders Triple-A, and fast tracks to the big leagues to completely flame out. Now, it doesn't always mean that they're going to be a superstar or even an all-star, but they're going to be a big leaguer for the next 5 to 10 years. And that's what we're seeing right now from Cags. When you look at his numbers, especially when he's in there against right-handers, he's well above league average, an OPS north of 800, and more experience, just like Carter Jensen behind the dish. With more and more experience, I would expect the output to continue to get more and more impressive. I mean, the talent's been obvious. We also need to take into account the guy was learning a new position at the highest level last season while being fast-tracked to the big leagues. And he handled it all pretty well for a then 22-year-old. 23 now and only getting better. Yeah, sky's the limit for Jack Caglione, for Carter Jensen, and thus for this Royals offense moving forward.
I want the Royals to just put Jack Caglione in that 6 or that 7 spot and let him play every day. Do you agree with that, or do you think the platoon that they have him with, is that the path you would have him continue on?
Yeah, I don't think he's really in a platoon. He has the 6th most at-bats on this team. He's a qualified hitter in Major League Baseball. He's, started 28 of the 35 games this season. So it's not as if there's a lefty out there, Cags doesn't play. But Matt Quatrero and this organization, they've always believed that if you're on the team, you better be able to find your way into the lineup once a week, or else why are you on the team? Starling Marte, Lane Thomas, these guys that have hit lefties very well in their career, if they can't ever shoehorn their way into the lineup, well, why are they on the team? So no one really is a true everyday player outside of Bobby Witt Jr., all right, we've already seen Michael miss some time because of injury. We've seen Vinny out, Salvi out. To me, Cags is just as much of an everyday player as Carter Jensen is, and I don't think anyone expected him to leapfrog Salvi, Vinny, Bobby, or Michael as far as an everyday player. No, he's right where he should be. A qualified everyday hitter, but not quite the forget all of the numbers. This guy's in there for 162.
Let's take a big picture look right now at the Royals. We played your clip last week where you said the Royals need to be at 500 by the end of the month. Do you think they'll be there at the end of the month?
I said by the middle of June. I was,
okay.
Denny's big on June 1st. I believe that's what he told you. So if that's what Denny says, I'm not going to fight him on it. But yeah, I'm looking at that Washington National Series in the middle of June. To me, 500 by then, you're a month away from the All-Star break, a month and a half before the trade deadline. If you're 500 with 2.5 months to go and the trade deadline with how well this front office has done over the years at the trade deadline, you'll certainly find yourself in the postseason push, but shoot, man. By this time next week, the Royals could be in first place, and we won't even consider a playoff push. We'll be talking about trying to stay atop the American League Central and hold off the Guardians and Tigers. So things change quickly in this game, especially in this division, where it could all be upside down in 72 hours.
You mentioned the Tigers. What are you doing with the Tigers now with the Skubal news?
Yeah, I don't know how they recover. I mean, that's 3 months without the best left-handed pitcher on the planet. People were hitting the fan at the fact that they brought in Justin Verlander. He's done nothing for them. Framber Valdez can be a team's number one. He was the Astros' number one for quite a few seasons, but it's a pretty big drop-off after that. It's certainly not Waka, Lugo, Bubic, Cameron. Following Framber Valdez, it's Jack Flaherty, it's Casey Mize, it's going to be the carcass of Justin Verlander. Now, they're going to have a lot of big velocity guys returning in August and September with Skubal and Jackson Jobe and a couple of other young, hard-throwing arms that they have in their bullpen, so they'll be a force down the stretch. But that's why over the course of the next 2 months, man, if the Royals can stay as hot as they've been offensively and out of the bullpen, you might be able to put some distance between yourself and Detroit. Of course, they're coming to town this weekend, but let them focus on the wild card, and you can refocus on walking away with this division.
I mean, somebody's got to tell Justin Verlander that he has to go work at ESPN or go start a podcast. He's still playing baseball? He's got to be 42 years old.
Oh, definitely. No, he is 42. At least he's 42 or 43 years old.
Jeez, I just looked it up. He's 43 years old. He was born February 20th of 1983. Bro, you got to go home and be a family man, dog. You can't still be playing baseball. Yeah, you can't still be playing baseball. He's making $15 million a year?
Yeah, I covered his rookie season in 06 back in Detroit, and he's still out there grinding. And we both don't look very good for our age.
Right now, we're joined by our guy, Josh Vernier, on the show. I guess we'll just end with this. How are you feeling now about the Royals? Because if I had to say how the text line feels, I would use the term cautiously optimistic. You know this as well as anybody. It doesn't take people much to be back on the Royals. It also doesn't take people much to be off the Royals. They could lose 3-0 today, and then the text line's like, oh, fire everybody. Or they could win 2-1, and we're going to the World Series. Kansas City is real finicky when it comes to the Royals. I would use cautiously optimistic. Where are you at with this team as they are playing their best brand of baseball that they've played so far this season?
I'm in line with that. I'm cautiously optimistic, but leaning towards optimistic because that's just how I view baseball. It's a game of failure. If you lean pessimistic, boy, I don't know how you enjoy the game. So, I would say cautiously optimistic, and I think last night's game gave everyone truth serum. Last night, 4th inning, bases loaded, nobody out. Bases loaded, nobody out. It's a 2-2 game. The Royals just put 2 runs on the board. Now they can really put this thing out of reach. Jack Caglione and Isaac Collins both go down swinging. Well, Cags went down looking, and then Isaac Collins went down swinging. So bases loaded, nobody out, tie game, strikeout. Whatever your gut was telling you as Nick Lofton came to the plate with bases loaded and now 2 outs in a tie game, that's how you feel about this team. And me, in the moment, I was covering my face but still watching through my fingers. So I think that can be described as cautiously optimistic. There are some people out there that knew and believed that Nick Lofton were going to come through. There were also some that were saying, here we go again. These bozos can't do anything when it comes to runners in scoring position. I think I'm somewhere in between, but I lean optimistic.
That is Josh Vern. You're joining us on the show. Vern, I look forward to having you on the show this Friday to recap this year. Stop saying that. We're having you on the show on Friday. I can't guarantee you'll be on the show next Friday, but I know you will be on the show this Friday, 1,000%.
I'll take it. Thank you, man.
That is our guy, Josh Vernier, joining us on the show. I will say, Rob, we are not really fickle with any of our guests. We are kind of that way with the Royals. We might kind of be like the fans. Like sometimes I'll call Denny and be like, hey, Denny, the Royals are not good enough for you to be on the show right now. Hey, you know what? Go outside, enjoy your garden. Denny recently got married, spend time with your wife. You know what? I don't need you today. He's like, oh, well, whenever you need me. Yeah, for sure. That's how I treat Vern too. You know what, Vern? We're okay. We'll figure something else out. There comes a point even on the text line. You guys are like, why are you even talking about them? Please talk about anything else. So I know yesterday I took a lot of grief with the Royals, and I admit sometimes I'm hard on the Royals. I admit. But I don't think my energy is really that different than most of Kansas City. We treat the Royals, we don't give the Royals a lot of patience. The Royals get off to a slow start. We're ready to bury the Royals. Rob, you and I were already starting to think of summer bits to do with the Royals. It looked like they were out of it. Now, you know what? I'm excited. I'm going to the game this weekend. I can't wait to go back out there. So Vern will be on the show this week. Next week, we're taking it week by week. I don't know. We're taking it week by week.
I do like, to show how fickle things are, Vern on his final, hot stove show of the year mentioned that, hey, you'll catch me every Tuesday and Friday with the drive at 3 o'clock, unless things go sideways. I think it was the first weekend of the season the text line hit Vern up. Yo, are you still on Tuesdays or no?
Vern texted me about it and was like, so we're only doing Fridays now? I was like, yeah, for sure. Last week, we were not having Vern on the show. What were we talking to Vern about? I wasn't no questions asked. Vern are terrible. They stink. No, we weren't doing that. Rob, can you hit the breaking news sounder here? I don't know if you saw this news.
The Drive. First to breaking news in Kansas City.
Did you see that Stephon Diggs has been found not guilty in his chef attack? You remember, there was a woman who Stephon Diggs hired to cook for him, and she says that Stephon Diggs abused her. Now, we don't got to get super deep into the case, but when she started testifying, her story fell apart. Fell apart. So he was found not guilty. Now, we know how the NFL works. Stephon Diggs, he will be on somebody's team next year. Now, I am not here to condone Stephon Diggs' personal life. We know enough about Stephon Diggs to say, you know what, he might not be the best human being. But we are also talking about a receiver who has had over 1,000 yards in 7 of his last 8 years, and for the most part has been healthy. He has played at least 13 games in every season outside of one since 2015. So if Stephon Diggs is in the league next year, which if he is found not guilty, he will be on somebody's roster next year, you can bet on Stephon Diggs being a 1,000-yard receiver. Now, I want to be clear. If you don't want Tyreek Hill on the team because of his personality, because of what we know about his personal life, and you don't think that he is a good representation for the team, that is all fair to me. I'm not mad at you for that stance. You have to have that stance about Stephon Diggs. But if you are on the bring Tyreek Hill back to Kansas City, I'd rather have Stephon Diggs than have Tyreek Hill. I'd rather have him. He played in all 17 games last year. He had 85 catches for a little over 1,000 yards, had 4 touchdowns. I'm guessing you can get Stephon Diggs for the cheap at this point. And I'm talking about this is probably going to be a 1-year mercenary deal. This will be Stephon Diggs' 4th team in 4 seasons. I'm guessing there's a reason why he's being passed around the league right now. But Rob, you just told me the number one thing you wanted was a wide receiver. I think Stephon Diggs is now the best free agent wide receiver on the board. I think he's the best free agent wide receiver on the board. Now, I remember, and I will always reference this, back in the spring when I said, hey, I'm not so excited about this Eric Bieniemy, I kept hearing accountability, leadership. They need a whole ass. You know who Stephon Diggs probably needs in his life? Somebody like Eric Bieniemy. Tell me why Stephon Diggs is a negative in Kansas City if you're somebody that wants Tyreek Hill. If you text line 913-586-7965 is pro them bringing back Tyreek Hill, tell me why you are now anti bringing Stephon Diggs back. He is a healthy, productive player who you could get on a 1-year cheap deal.
I am anti Tyreek Hill as well. And I would say this about why I think the Chiefs will say no for Stephon Diggs. The Chiefs, right or wrong, we know will take a risk on off-the-field issue guy. There's just too much evidence they will. They don't really take that risk with in-the-locker-room headache guy. And on top of having some questionable personal life decisions,
he seems like a handful.
He seems like a handful.
At every turn.
And it's not like he just didn't get along with Kirk Cousins and Case Keenum in Minnesota.
He don't really get along with nobody.
He didn't get along with Josh Allen. Last year, he was in the Super Bowl, and it seemed like he wasn't super thrilled. And the Patriots, who wide receiver core right now, pre-A.J. Brown,
I saw their offense, too. I wasn't super. I'd have been kind of mad, too.
I mean, he was that way with – he had a blow up on the sideline with Josh Allen.
Oh, for sure.
I think there is a reason to be out on Stephon Diggs more than just his personal life decisions, because I think there is you got to corral him energy, and I don't think he fits in Kansas City because I don't think he's going to be target number 3. Not wide receiver 3, but there's no world in which he comes to Kansas City, he gets more targets than Travis Kelce and Rashee Rice. None. So that just seems like a headache waiting to happen, and the Chiefs don't seem like a team that's willing to deal with the headache at room.
Okay, I want to be clear. I understand why somebody would say I don't want Stephon Diggs. But I see a lot of sentiment on the text line, hey, we're willing to take a chance on Tyreek Hill. If you're willing to take a chance on Tyreek Hill, you got to be willing to take that same chance on Stephon Diggs. I would say the cloud around them appears to be very similar. And one is not coming off a significant leg injury, and you think will be there week 1 of the NFL season. I mean, he couldn't have been that much of a distraction last year. The team he was on went to the Super Bowl. So I'm throwing that out there. Text line 913-586-7965.
To be fair, that team that won the Super Bowl had a bigger distraction. Head coach.
I don't know if he was distracting people last year.
He was distracted all season. Well, he couldn't focus on the game plan. He had to talk to a reporter.
No, for sure.
Just the one.
Are you interested in Stephon Diggs? He has been cleared. I would guess he's not going to be suspended by the league. I honestly don't think you can. Seeing the way that this case has played out the last couple of days on social media, from what I was reading, I do not think Stephon Diggs is going to be suspended. Now, if you got a personal issue with them, you don't want that guy in the locker room, that all makes sense to me. But if you are willing to look one way when it comes to Tyreek Hill, I think you got to be willing to look that exact same direction. And Diggs he'd be their 3rd best offensive weapon. If you're saying that Kenneth Walker is going to be number 1 and Rice is going to be number 2, Stephon Diggs is a more productive player than Travis Kelce is at this stage. He is a more productive player than Xavier Worthy. Their offense would be better and more complete if they went out and got somebody like Stephon Diggs. Now, will they? Probably not, but it's Sports Talk Radio, so you got to throw these things out there. All right, keep it right here. It's The Drive on 96.5 The Fan.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
FanDuel is giving you better payouts on same-game parlays all NBA playoffs long. With more ways to build and more value every time you play, you can stack your picks your way for every game, every matchup, and every moment. From spreads to player points to threes and more, build it all into a same-game parlay and go for bigger payouts. So if you're betting same-game parlays this NBA postseason, be sure to bet them on FanDuel. More options, better payouts, all NBA playoffs long. So head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. That's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel puts player research right at your fingertips. You can check stats, trends, and matchups all in one place and make your picks with confidence. It's everything you need all in one single app. So don't miss your shot. Head to FanDuel.com/local to bet your same-game parlays. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. Play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This deer season, John Deere wants to give you the home field advantage. We're bringing you the best offers of the season, whether that's cash off on select new machines or a shot at the ultimate Major League Baseball prize package. Because right now, you can enter for a chance to win an MLB All-Star experience for you and 3 friends, complete with travel and lodging for All-Star Week this July. Deer season is going on now through June 3rd. Visit johndeere.com/deer season to enter and view the offers and complete contest rules. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Hello?
Hey sis, got a sec?
Yeah, what's up?
Take a look at the picture I just sent you. I'm walking into Hellsberg and want to get Mom something special for Mother's Day.
Yeah, she's done so much for us this year. Let's see. Diamond pendant. Oh, she'd love this.
Great. I'll get this, which means you're in charge of flowers.
Okay, deal.
This Mother's Day, save up to 50% on timeless gifts for Mom. Shop at a store near you or at Hellsberg.com.
For all the things you have to do and places you need to be, let Uber take you there. Because you had just one more 3 rounds ago. Because the 5 a.m. flight seemed like a good idea at the time. Because check engine lights always appear at the worst possible times. And because parking downtown is a nightmare. Because there are nights out, airport trips, and car troubles in your area, there are drivers in your area. Uber. Request a ride today. Wait time varies. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Future will customize this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
Time's running out to get 10% off your home painting project. Take advantage of CertaPro's spring sales event before May 15th. And if you've been putting off painting, now's the time. From scuffs inside to peeling paint outside, protect your home with CertaPro painters. Their free estimates are detailed and easy to understand. And each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated right here in Kansas City. So schedule your free estimate now at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is.
Just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
It's time to spring into deals at Lowe's. Freshen up your yard with Stay Green Premium 2 cubic foot mulch. 5 bags for $10. Then get what you need to keep clothes, food, and dishes fresh with up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $100 on select laundry pairs. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/6. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
For 75 years, Kansas City families have trusted Anthony for comfort, safety, and dependable service. Thank you for trusting us with your house keys. Anthony, in your home for 75 years.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
A couple of things going on. 70, let's see, big backups because of 3 problems. 70 westbound just before Blue Ridge Cutoff. Right lane is blocked by a stall. You've got a crash. 70 eastbound at 40 Highway. Right lane blocked, and then back to 70 westbound at Nolan. Right lane blocked there. You got big backups through the area. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
You know what I was thinking? This is just a random thought that I had. You guys know that I believe that we give fair weather fans, we give them too much grief. We really do. There's no reward at the end for being a diehard true fan. There is none. Some of you have had season tickets for the Chiefs for 20, 30 years. It might have been passed down by your grandfather, by your father. Whenever they raise prices, do they come to you and say, you know what, we're actually not going to raise your prices this year. We're going to raise everybody else's prices, but not yours because you've been a loyal customer. No, that's not how it works. I was thinking this as I was going back and I was listening to the show and we were talking about the Royals.tv thing, which is a Major League Baseball thing, a Royals thing. It's all of them. It kind of reminds me of your cell phone. Like your cell phone provider, they don't really show you a lot of love. I've had Verizon my entire life. Ever since I've had a cell phone, I've had Verizon. I don't have any interest in switching. One time, Rob, you remember this, one time Sprint offered me an endorsement deal, wanted me to endorse their product. And I remember very, very clearly telling Sprint, I cannot in good conscience tell people to go out and get Sprint because I would not switch to Sprint. Had no interest in it. I'm a loyal Verizon customer. They don't show me any love. When you think about it, this Royals.tv thing It's honestly, truly the most sports fan thing that can happen. If you bought the Royals television package from day one, you wanted to see opening day, you want to watch every single Royals game, you want to support the Royals, you want to be there for the Royals, you are a diehard Royals fan. The way that I give Rob grief that the United States men's soccer team is his favorite team, some of you, your favorite team is the Royals. Then, when it comes to this, now, fast forward, couple weeks later, it ain't even been months later, a few weeks later, now they're doing a massive deal, 60% cheaper. How is your day one fandom rewarded, Rob? How is it rewarded? Are they giving you some of your money back? Are you going to give the money back? Are they giving you a promo code? Are they giving you anything? No. What are you going to do about it? Sports teams really take advantage of us and our undying loyalty to their product because they know we're never going anywhere. It's one of the few things we won't leave. Some of you are on your second wife. Some of you have had multiple phone numbers. Some of you have changed barbers. You know one thing you'll never do? Wake up tomorrow and decide that you're going to start cheering for the Cardinals. No, you would never do that. Sports teams know that too, so they take advantage of us. That's how they can charge you $100 2 days ago. Now it's on sale, and they're just, hey, can I have some of my money back? No. What are you going to do? You're just not going to watch the games anymore? It's not right. I tell you, it's not right.
To your cell phone company point, and I think it's a very good point, the Royals TV is rewarding new customers. I actually am a T-Mobile user myself. I pay for it and my wife's cell phone plan. How many times do you get an email from your cell phone providers like, new customers, look how great of a deal that's available. Sign up now and you get this and this and that and all that stuff. Hey, I'm a returning customer. Too bad. Pay your bill. That's the game. That's what you got to do. That's how Royals TV is treating people. Hey, I'm a loyal customer. What do I get? You get to pay us $100 this year. Thank you for your service. Hey, I'm a new customer. What do I get? Ooh, half price, flash sale. Maybe we'll do this or that. It's all this great stuff. Like, the cell phone company analogy is perfect because the Royals are rewarding, or Royals TV, not the Royals, are rewarding people who join today through Sunday way more than people who joined at opening day. And they don't seem to care that people at opening day got screwed. Like, unless there's some news release that's sitting around that I'm unaware of, it doesn't seem like the people who bought on March 31st are getting the same deal as the people who bought on May 3rd.
It's just not right, man. I mean, the text line is saying that's just capitalism. That's how it works. And I mean, you're right for sure. When you think about it, like, I just don't like when there's like no real recourse to it, Like, I have the choice to go to a different phone company. Like, if I'm just tired of how Verizon's treating me, I can just be like, you know what, man, I'm just going to AT&T. Like, I'm not that dedicated to the brand. What can you do? You bought Royals.TV a week ago. You spent the $100. You supported the Royals when they were losing a couple of weeks ago. You paid the money for Royals.TV. Now they're winning. Now it's on sale. And what do they give you? They're going to give you some of your money back. No, you're just stuck. Now, I do hope that, and Rob, I feel like we were the first people in the city to start trying to notify this and start trying to spread the word. Download the Hawaiian Bros app. Why do you not have the Hawaiian Bros app on your phone? Everybody should have the Hawaiian Bros app.
I will say,
everybody. It should be like the Facebook app. It should be like the YouTube app. It should be like Apple Safari. Who doesn't have Safari on their iPhone? That's how the Hawaiian Bros app should be. Everybody should have Hawaiian Bros.
I saw a story that someone waited 45 minutes today for Hawaiian Bros after last night.
You went to the wrong one. You went to the wrong one. I've redeemed my bowls. You think I waited 45 minutes? No, absolutely not. You got to know the right one to go to. You're not going to the right one. And then you probably went at 11:30 during lunchtime, 12:15 at lunchtime. Of course it was going to be a long line for the Hawaiian Bros. You got to know when to go.
I'm just passing along the information of the Hawaiian Bros news is out there, and it's only a matter of time for Hawaiian Bros start getting some negative publicity for hour-long waits for their food.
I'd hope they don't get some negative publicity because I don't want it to go away as a part of you don't know how to finesse the system.
The system might send Hawaiian Bros to Chapter 11, but that's...
they seem happy with it. They seem happy. I'm happy for Hawaiian Bros. I'm happy for us. How could you not be happy? The Royals are scoring runs. They're winning games, and you get free food. I told you a couple of weeks ago, this is bringing back the Krispy Kreme donuts. It's giving you that same vibe. So just listen to me right now. Download the Hawaiian Bros app. When they score 6 runs, the next day you get free Hawaiian Bros. It's a phenomenal promotion. It's the best promotion we have right now.
The best play is probably for a day game. Is it just home games or is it any game?
It's home games.
You need it Thursday. They need to put 6 up because then dinner's done.
Yeah, for sure. You can just go. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm not taking the Hawaiian Bros slander on the text line. I'm serious. I'm not taking that. We're not doing that today.
It doesn't even matter if you do or don't like it. You are such a king of free that I don't know what you would turn down.
I like Hawaiian Bros, though.
I know you do. But
I also don't know how you could really dislike it. It's meat and rice. Like, what are people getting out of Hawaiian Bros if they don't like the food?
I mean, I'm telling you, the macaroni salad thing just not for me.
I like the macaroni salad.
It's not for
it's
me.
kind of tasty. I'm a fan.
It's not for me.
I'm a fan. This is as happy as I've been with the Royals in a while. The Royals are winning. Everybody's in a good mood. I like the Chiefs draft. I'm in a great mood. I'm in a phenomenal mood. Missouri's going to be ranked preseason top 25 in football and basketball. I'm really having can it just be like this for a while? I just want it to be just like this. How's your team doing? You guys still dominating the portal? You guys taking kids from Toledo. I mean, that's working out for you guys.
I mean, they have the number 1 recruit in the country coming to their school.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the portal now. You're talking about stuff we weren't talking about. I don't know how it's going for you guys. It's going terrible. I don't have anybody on the team. Cole Rosario is going to be starting for Kansas next year. That also makes me happy. All right, coming up at the top of the hour, we are going to reset things. Let's continue to talk about the Royals. You know what? The Royals are playing good baseball. Keep it right here, so Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison and Rob Brenton.
You losers is what you are.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Let me ask you a couple of questions. Do you have poor sleep? What about low energy? How about brain fog, a reduced sex drive, weight gain, and workouts that just don't deliver like they used to? Well, the problem could be low testosterone. And the truth is, those testosterone levels can start declining as early as your 30s, 2 or 3% every single year. And before you know it, you just don't feel like the same man you did back in the day. Well, you don't have to accept this as just aging. Heartland Men's Health specializes in customized testosterone therapy and targeted body composition plans. You might think you have low T. Well, pick up the phone and call this number, 844-447-6600, or check out the website and take this simple 10-question quiz. Visit heartlandmenshealth.com. Your initial visit is just $100, includes a medical consultation, a PSA test, and lab results in about 30 minutes, and your treatment can start that day. 3 locations, Overland Park, Independence, North Kansas City. There's no need to wait. Go stop by and see my friends over at Heartland Men's Health.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
If you miss being able to finish a road trip playlist on a road trip, we can help. Just take it to Telly. Schedule your service at tellytire.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Spring is here, and as the weather heats up, the sports action heats up at Circa Sports. From baseball to basketball to hockey, Circa Sports has it all. Circa Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service. Whether you're looking for playoff futures or props on your favorite players and more, Circa Sports has you covered. And don't miss out on the special Royals props for every game. Download Circa Sports app or visit circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Busey, banking is about more than numbers. It's about relationships. For over 150 years, we've been helping individuals, families, and businesses reach their goals with personalized service and local decision-making. Whether you're opening your first account or planning your next big move, we're here with the tools and support to help you move forward with confidence. Busey Bank, your partner for life's moments, both big and small. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
Baseball is back, and BetMGM, official partner of Major League Baseball, is bringing the high heat all season long. Step up to the plate all season with Swing for the Fences, the free-to-play game where every swing could score you rewards. We're talking parlay boost tokens, odds boost tokens, same-game parlay boosts, and even bonus spins all season long. And the action doesn't stop there. Get more out of every at-bat and every inning with MLB same-game parlay boosts. Stack your picks and boost your potential payout. Plus, lock in bigger value with MLB odds boost tokens and MLB parlay boost tokens all season long. More boosts, more swings, more chances to win. Download the BetMGM app and step up to the plate today. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. Promotional offers may vary by market. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards may vary. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLInjuryLaw.com.
Brought to you by Deem Injury Law, 816-888-7500. Mike's got this, and we've got a stall that is blocking, looks like a right lane, 635 southbound on the ramp to 35 northbound. Still working the wreck, 70 westbound just before Blue Ridge cutoff. Right lane is blocked. You've also got 70 westbound past Nolan. Right lane blocked there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
I was talking to Vernon earlier today, and I used the term, I believe that right now Royals fans are cautiously optimistic. I do. I think you're cautiously optimistic. Now, you know we love a good relationship analogy on this show. We love car analogies, relationship analogies, and a good basketball analogy. Let's go with the relationship analogy. The Royals are like that relationship that you knew you should have got out of a long time ago. But you know what? You guys got history together. You got great memories together. You know? And when it's good, it's good. But when it's bad, it's bad. And you're telling your friends, man, I'm done with her. And next thing you know, when you're having a dinner with everybody, who's there, White Richie? It's that girl you said you were going to be done with. Now, I know the text line now is making it seem like they always believe, they were always on board, but I was here 3 weeks ago, and we were all in agreement 3 weeks ago. You guys wanted the manager fired. You wanted him to move. Everybody was on the same page. But
Hitting coach definitely fired.
Oh, for sure. Oh, you guys have fired Matt Quatraro about 19 times in Kansas City. Ain't been nobody fired more than him. But you know what? The Royals are winning right now. Everybody's in a good mood. Everybody's optimistic. The bullpen's performing at a high level. Jack Caglione is performing. The Tigers, the best player in the division, is going to miss the next 2 months. There should be a lot of optimism. I use the word cautiously optimistic. I think Kansas City is always cautiously optimistic about the Royals. I think that's different. I don't think KU fans are cautiously optimistic about their basketball team. I think they're always optimistic. They got the number 1 overall player. Rob thinks they're going to be a 1 seed or a 2 seed this year. We're back, baby. K-State fans, hey, we got our head coach. We're going to win 8-9 games. We're winning the league this year. Missouri fans, I think Royals fans are usually in a state of cautiously optimistic. You feel good, but you always reserve well, it's the Royals. What did you expect? So I think, honestly, we're kind of back to center with the Royals. Now, I don't think the first, 40 games have gone how people expected them to go. I certainly expected them to get off to a hotter start and not have that 10, 11-day lull like they had. But you are playing by far and away the best baseball that you have. You have 6 remaining home games, and you're, 3 games under 500. I think you got to feel good about where the Royals are right now. You look at this division right now. Now, I know it's just one player and it's a pitcher, but you have to feel different about the Tigers today than you felt about the Tigers last week. It feels like there's really only one team you need to catch, and it's the team that you're currently playing in the Guardians. You might be better than the Tigers right now. You're certainly a healthier team than the Tigers right now. So I think cautiously optimistic is a good phrase. If you guys have a better one, 913-586-7965, please let me know. But I'm going off how I think you guys feel. I think, for the most part, Kansas City is cautiously optimistic right now about the Royals.
I think that's fair. I think the phrase I would use would be, this is the same phrase, just a little different. I think Royals fans want to believe. I think on what it was opening day, March 31st, I think on March 30th, fans were excited about the baseball team. They were excited about the prospect of going back to the playoffs. They were excited about all the things. The division was theirs to the taking. There was a lot of optimism around the Royals. And then the first 25 games happened, and fans were hurt. Fans got burned by believing in this team. I think the better string of baseball, the Skubal injury, the fact the entirety of the AL Central stinks. Not just the Tigers. I mean, the Guardians lose tonight to the Royals, and they're sub 500. So, the whole division stinks. I think fans look at the standings, look at the baseball team, look at the offense, look at the things, and they're starting to believe again, but they're hesitant because last time they believed this season, which I do believe there was belief going into the season, this team can be good, they got burned. So I think they're starting to feel that excitement again, but I don't think they're all the way back in the boat yet.
I got another relationship analogy. Are you ready? I think this is a good one.
2-in-1 segment's impressive.
I think this is a good one. I'm proud of this one. I just came up with this one. I think it's a good one. Have you ever asked somebody, how long have you been with X person? Like, you just meet somebody. Like, oh, how long have you guys been dating? Oh, I don't know, about 4 years on and off. That's kind of how Kansas City is with the Royals. They're on and off. Kansas City is very rarely off when it comes to the Chiefs. Like, they're very, very rarely are there moments where you guys are completely out on the Chiefs. There are very rare times that people are completely out on Missouri football, completely out on Kansas. Like, very few times that's the case. There are a lot of times that you guys are out on the Royals. You'll be out on the Royals. The Royals will call you and ask if you want to get something to eat. You'll go, and the Royals will show you why you fell in love with them in the very, very beginning. You see that smile, Bobby Witt will make a couple of plays. Jack Caglione will hit a home run. Salvi will splash somebody. You're like, you know what, man? Why don't we give this another try? That's where we are right now. That's where we are. I don't want to think about the bad times. I don't want to talk about it. Don't bring it up. We are here now, and the Royals are back in it. The Royals have just as good a chance as any of these other teams to win their division. Now, I mean, them getting a wild card, that might be a different conversation. Let's see if they can win enough games to get the wild card. But if you're looking at their division right now, you cannot tell me that, look at these teams, Tigers, Guardians, White Sox, Royals. Who's the best team of this bunch? The Royals are 3 games under 500, and they're just 1.5 games back in the division. There's 1.5 games back in the division.
Where are they for the third wild card? Like a game back for the third wild card or something crazy like that? Like it?
Yeah, well, it's a little bit different just because, I mean, there's 4 teams that will be ahead of them. So I'm saying that's going to be a very competitive fight if the Royals can't win the division, or the Royals just got to get hot and they got to win 87 games. Obviously, that changes the math a little bit. But, I mean, if you're looking at this, you're right in it. And given how poor the division is, you should be in it until the very, very end. We might have buried the Royals, and we might have kicked a little dirt on them and said they were out of it by the NFL draft. We are now done with the draft, and they are there. Now, if the Royals were doing what we thought they could do, we'd be having a different conversation, because if the Royals were the team we thought they should have been, they could be running away with this division. This division is not good. Who's the best team you think in the division? Cleveland?
I think it's Cleveland. You could tell me any team. You could tell me the White Sox are the best team in the division. I don't think you're wrong. I don't know there's a right answer to that question. I made the comparison yesterday. Carrington, the Royals are in the NFC South. That's where the Royals are this year. They might be the Panthers, they might be the Saints, they might be the Falcons, but they are in the NFC South of baseball. That's where they play.
Yeah, for sure. So you know what? You're hoping that you can be the AFC South, almost the same division. It's almost the same question. You're hoping that you can be the Texans. Every year in the AFC South, you can make a case for any of those teams winning it. Oh, I like Indianapolis. Oh, I like Jacksonville. Oh, I like this team. That's the division that they're in. I mean, you know they're not Buffalo. You know they're not, but you don't have to be Kansas City. You don't have to be Buffalo. You don't have to be Baltimore in this analogy. You just got to be better than Jacksonville. And if you can be better than Jacksonville, you will make the playoffs and have a home playoff game. That's where we are. It's a good comparison, because the NFC South and the AFC South have basically been the same division for the last 15 years. You get a little bit of Tennessee, you get a little bit of Tampa Bay, but for the most part, that division, every year you go into it thinking it's completely wide open. Hey, Rob, who's the favorite of the NFC South this year? Is it Tampa?
Is it Carolina?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. But you could also sell me New Orleans. Mm-hmm. Tyler Shuck takes a big step forward. I like their draft.
We're also forgetting Tampa exists. Like that, you can sell anyone.
Yeah, for sure. I'm telling you, it's not good. That's right. That's what the Royals are in. The Royals are in the AFC or NFC South. Go in the division. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll talk about Jack Caglione, who is hot. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by Deem Injury Law, 816-888-7500. Mike's got this, and we've got a stall, but his blocking looks like a right lane, 635 southbound on the ramp to 35 northbound, still working the wreck, 70 westbound just before Blue Ridge cutoff. Right lane is blocked. You've also got 70 westbound past Nolan. Right lane blocked there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
FanDuel is giving you even better payouts on same-game parlays all NBA playoffs long. And with more ways to build and more value every time you play, you can stack your picks your way for every game, every matchup, and every moment. From point spreads to player points to threes and so much more, you can build it all into one simple same-game parlay and go for an even bigger payout. So if you're betting a same-game parlay this NBA postseason, you can bet them with America's #1 sportsbook app with our friends over at FanDuel. More options, better payouts, all NBA playoffs long. So head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. One more time, that's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel puts player research right at your fingertips so you can check every stat, trend, and matchup all in one place. You can make your picks with confidence. Everything you need in just one app, so don't miss your shot. Head to FanDuel right now, America's #1 sportsbook app and official partner of the NBA, and play your game. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
DQ presents the $7 meal deal. A delicious meal serving up serious value. We're talking 100% white meat, seasoned chicken strips, full-size fries, a drink, and of course, a classic DQ sundae. Because come on, no meal is complete without a sweet treat. All for just $7. And now you can try it with the new Honey Sriracha Dip. The DQ $7 meal deal. A satisfying meal full of big flavor for great value. DQ, happy tastes good.
Spring is here. Now's the time to get your air conditioner ready with a $49 AC tune-up from Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. A tune-up can help save money on your energy bill and prevent expensive breakdowns. As your local home service experts, everything we do is backed by our exceptional service guarantee. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews adds up to dependable service from neighbors you trust. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. And Doug.
There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means playing in a football game. Boom! 42! You're going down, Doug! Oh, yeah? Your price on car insurance when you customize and save is going down. Hey! Limu? What are you doing on their team? Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more. Visit our inventory at ShawneeMissionFord.com.
Hey, it's Cole, and I have exciting news. Ford has announced employee pricing for everyone. Over at Shawnee Mission Ford, you pay what they pay, and you still get the rebates and incentives offered by Ford, along with the top trade-in value from Shawnee Mission Ford, who's on a mission to do more in 26.
Harris, Kansas City is giving away $150,000 in prizes this mid-year's Eve. Saturday, June 6th. One lucky guest will walk away with $50,000 in cold hard cash at midnight. And leading up to the big finale, we are calling names to win $2,500 in free play every 15 minutes. The best part? You can earn entries all throughout May and June. Don't miss the hottest celebration of the summer, only at Harris, Kansas City. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When Kansas City storms roll through, hail and wind can damage your roof without you even realizing it. If your home was hit, call us at Century Roofing for a free inspection today. We handle every step with your insurance company, making the process stress-free and easy for you. For over 35 years and more than 35,000 roofs, we've been protecting Kansas City homes. Let us protect yours. Trust the pillars of strength with KC-based and female-owned. Century Roofing, KC.com.
Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength.
Tonight, expect rain showers with a low of 45.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all your favorite shows, shorts, and clips. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFMC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. My name is Carrington Harrison. Happy to be here with you. This is the last time I'm going to remind you today to be sure to download the Hawaiian Bros app. Now, you can't do anything about the promotion they have right now. I mean, the Royals scored 6 runs yesterday. You have to already have the app, but the Royals could score 6 runs tonight. I mean, runs are aplenty right now with the Kansas City Royals, so why not prepare yourself? Get the Hawaiian Bros app and be ready for when the Royals win 7-3 today. So, Rob, we were talking about this. Why don't we just continue the conversation here for those of you that are just turning on the show, and we appreciate you. I think that right now the text line and most Royals fans are cautiously optimistic. I think people were very excited at the very beginning of the season, and then the Royals did kind of what the Royals usually do. But the Royals have turned things around, and they are very much still in the race. They are only 3 games under 500 and playing by far and away their best baseball. They also have the remainder of the week. They play the teams that are directly ahead of them and currently leading their division. So the Royals have every opportunity to A, be at or above 500, and also the Royals have every opportunity by the middle of next week to be in first place in the American League Central. It does not matter what April happened or what happened in April if you look up and you were in first place in your division on May 12th. Sure, you could be 3 games up in the division, but you have completely erased that bad month, and you have put yourself in a position that the summer can be meaningful and you can play important baseball games. I use the term cautiously optimistic. I really like this term, Rob. Somebody said, right now, I would characterize myself as guardedly confident. I think that is a good way of describing it. This looks like the team that we thought they could be. They're getting good starting pitching. The guys who are supposed to be carrying your offense are carrying your offense. To see when everybody got back from the World Baseball Classic, it is a version that they are currently playing right now.
That's why I said, to the texter's point, I agree with it. I feel like Royals fans, they got burned. For the first time, maybe since the run ended. That's what I would say. Because I think fans believed in 14, they believed in 15, they believed in 16. But basically, since that time ended, for the first time in a long time, Royals fans went into a season with real hope, real belief, real optimism. Carrington, we were doing Royals topics in February, and people were excited about the baseball team. It wasn't the regular, hey, we have to dream a little and sell. With the World Baseball Classic, people were excited. And then the first 25 games happened, and they were... Pick a year in Royals baseball. They were the 06 Royals. They were the 02 Royals. They were the 2019 Royals. They were all the Royals we've known and loved. And I think fans were like, I got screwed. I remember there was one texter who kept texting in that he was frustrated that this team had expectations. When they have expectations, they always fail. I think fans were feeling that burden way more than the team. Well, now the Royals... They're starting to play better baseball. The offense is doing what it's supposed to be doing. The bullpen looks manageable again, and the starting pitching is the starting pitching. And I think, to the texter's points, fans are wanting to believe again, but I think they're hesitant about touching the stove and getting burned one more time.
I can give you a reason to be even more confident in the Royals. If you're looking at the Royals, Salvador Perez has still not been very good. Salvi is hitting .207 with a .245 on-base percentage. Salvi has not been great. Now, I don't know a lot of people that expect Salvi to continue to do this. It's going to be kind of hard to keep that guy as your designated hitter, catcher, a guy that's hitting 200 for the entire season. So I expect Salvi to be a little bit better. Vinny Pasquantino is going to be a lot better. Vinny right now is hitting 198. He's hitting 198 with 4 home runs this year. So I would say 2 of their big boppers, 2 guys that you were counting on of being right in the middle, being in the mix, you are expecting those guys to continue to take step forwards. Carter Jensen's going through a little bit of a slump right now. So I would say on the offensive side, you have got yourself back into it. And it's not like Vinny's knocking the cover off the ball. It's not like Salvi's knocking the cover off the ball. That's one side of it. And, I mean, they're about to get their all-star closer back. Say what you want about Carlos Estevez. He was an all-star last year. They're about to get him back in the next 10 days or so as another arm to throw into the bullpen. So the Royals, I would say, are starting to get healthy and get right. And subsequently, you are playing all the teams that are ahead of you in your division. The Tigers are ahead of you. You got them this weekend. The Guardians are ahead of you. You got them. You go on the road next week to play the White Sox, a team that you have just matched up really well with over the last 3 years or so. If the Royals are going to strike, and we know there are always pockets in a baseball season where you're either hoping to go 500, tread water, or there are moments where now's your chance to gain ground. This is their opportunity to gain ground. You can be in first place at the end of this 9-game stretch. You won the first game. You got 9 games left. If the Royals keep doing what they're doing and they are 6-3 at the end of this 9-game stretch, they are at 500 and they are likely in first place or tied for first place in their division.
It was yesterday on the show. Denny said, I always wait till end of May, June 1st to make a breakdown of a team. And because of how baseball is a marathon, not a sprint, I think that is very good. Denny's been covering baseball longer than most people listening have been alive. So I think he makes a really good point. If the Royals do what you're saying, let's say they win the series against the Guardians. Let's say they win the Tiger series. Let's say they split or win. You could be heading into Memorial Day, which I know feels like forever away, but it's like 2.5 weeks is Memorial Day, maybe 3 weeks. You'd be looking at a team that's over 500 and near first in the AL Central, and if not in the AL Central, competing for a wild card spot. When the calendar flips to June, baseball will be alive in Kansas City. People will be energized by the ball club. For as much as they may have lost the fan base in April, and I am not going to undersell how bad April was, they can regain all that hope, optimism, and juice in the team with one good May, and it has been a very good start, and it is advantageous that their May includes everyone they have to chase. They don't have a Dodgers series looming where you're like, oh, God, just get through that. It is a lot of White Sox, Guardians, Tigers. So there is a moment here. There's a chance to really turn the tide of your baseball season.
And honestly, I mean, right now in the American League, and I understand, you kind of like, there aren't a whole lot of teams that you feel like you want to avoid, period.
There's one.
Right now.
Just one. The Yankees have mauled the Royals like you were.
100%. But I'm saying outside of that, I mean, you wouldn't feel good with them going up against the Dodgers. The Cubs are off to a very hot start. They already played the Braves earlier this season. They lost the series against Atlanta. Like, most of the really, really good teams are either far away from the Royals or they've already played those teams. You only got one more series left against the Yankees. You don't got to see the Braves anymore. So for the most part, you've gotten through that. Now, obviously, we'll see some teams kind of create some separation. Some teams are going to get hot. Some teams are going to fade back. But just baseball right now, there's 5 or 6 teams that have actually gotten off to a hot start. And then there's 17 teams just like the Royals. Their season can go one way or the other. So that's why I said yesterday, I'm not 100% back in on the Royals, but you can't really be out on the Royals at this point. But in order to realistically give yourself a chance, you got to get back to 500. And looking at the American League, Rob, how many teams right now in the American League would you say are over 500 right now? A snapshot right now.
Is it just the 2?
On Cinco de Mayo, it's 3.
Oh.
There's 3 teams. I'm just thinking about that. We are, 40 games into the baseball season? We are 40 games into the baseball season. There's only 3 teams that are over 500. Nobody thinks that's how the season's going to end. Somebody's going to get hot. Somebody else is going to do what the Royals are doing right now. Now, hopefully the Royals can keep this up. And again, you got to strike while the iron's hot. The Guardians are not very good. The Tigers are not very good. The White Sox are not very good. They're also in your division. They are ahead of you. You got to strike while you have these teams down and you're playing your best baseball. The Tigers are 4-6 in their last 10 games. The Guardians are 4-6. The Royals are 8-2 in their last 10 games. So you're playing your best baseball, and those teams are not playing well. Take advantage of those teams. All right, Rob, let's start the hits, and hit number 1 will be a little bit different. We'll do some football here.
Your workday is over. Oh, yeah. You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
All right, hit number 1 here. Let's talk about free agency. Now, I asked Rob the question earlier. I wish the Chiefs had done blank. And the answer that Rob gave was invest a little bit more in the wide receiver room. They didn't really invest in the wide receiver room at all. Like, not really at all. You getting a 5th-round pick is not investing in the wide receiver room. They didn't really go out in free agency and get somebody that wasn't on the team last year. Their investment in the wide receiver room was going to get Chad O'Shea to replace Connor Embry. Now, there are a bunch of names at wide receiver that we'll go through, but I want to play this audio for you guys. This is Adam Schefter talking about the amount of free agents who are still available.
You know, those are some compelling names and some players that can help some rosters, and we're past the compensatory draft pick period, so now these players can sign with these teams, and teams don't have to worry about how it will impact their future compensatory draft picks. So I would imagine you'll see some of these guys fall into place here. As you mentioned, Njoku visiting the Chargers. We had Juwan Jennings kicking off with the Vikings last week. These guys have waited for their number, and the number in May is not going to be as attractive as they would like. That's the issue. So at what point do we get to a spot where the players say, okay, I'm willing to live with what they're offering. I'm comfortable enough with what's on the table to accept an offer to move forward. And I think that's the process that all these players, some big name players who could provide some real production, are now going through. And all these guys will get jobs by and large, I think, before training camp. But it'll come in drips and drabs is the way I would imagine it.
That was Adam Schefter on the Pat McAfee show. If you still want the Chiefs to go get a wide receiver, there's a bunch of wide receivers that you've heard of. Now, you're not expecting these guys to come in and be number ones or number twos, but to me, if you're looking for a third reliable option, you will have choices. Juwan Jennings, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, Keenan Allen, Brandon Cooks, Curtis Samuel, Sterling Shepard, Tim Patrick, Alan Lazard is still available. In tight end, David Njoku, Jonnu Smith is still available. Darren Waller is still there. There's some options of guys who, if you think they need just another offensive weapon to throw into the mix, there are names that you can potentially throw into the mix. Rob, we'll get back to baseball here coming up in a bit, but out of those names for free agent wide receivers, or maybe you want them to go get a tight end, is there anybody that tickles your fancy? Is there anybody that you would be excited if you got a tweet from Ian Rappaport that the Chiefs were bringing in Keenan Allen for a workout?
Keenan Samuel would be a wild.
Be great, get both of them. If they went out to go get Keenan Allen or had him come in for a workout for an official visit, is there any name that you would be excited about?
It's hard to get excited about a name at this point in free agency. We're about to be post Cinco de Mayo. Most people who are free agents for a reason. Either A, their number's way too high, or B, they have red flags or injury concerns. See Stephon Diggs, see Tyreek Hill, see Brandon Ayuk, who might be both. Like, there might be red flags and injury problems. I think of that list, the name that intrigues me the most, if we got the Ian Rappaport tweet that he was a Chief, is Juwan Jennings. Just because I don't think the Chiefs have a wide receiver like him on the roster. Like, the Chiefs have a bevy of 5'10 to 6'1 speed guys. Even Rashee Rice, who might be the tallest person in the room, is not exactly known for being a, go-get-it 6'4 behemoth of a wide receiver type of guy. Juwan Jennings would be closer to that. So I think of all those names, he would be the one that intrigues me the most, but it is kind of a hodgepodge of randos right now. But I think Juwan Jennings would be the one I'm most interested in. Is there one that stands out to you in that listing of people?
I'd be interested in Keenan Allen. I think Keenan Allen makes a lot of sense for the Chiefs. Now, he comes with some injuries concerns, don't get me wrong, but Keenan Allen was a productive player last year in the National Football League. And with what I think you are asking of Keenan Allen, I think he is a good player. I mean, the last 3 years for Keenan Allen, 1,200 yards, 700 yards, 744, 777 last year. And, I think he certainly went through an injury history. Keenan Allen has played at least 10 games in every season since 2017. He's been mostly healthy for the most part. You never heard any off-the-field issues with Keenan Allen. You never heard any locker room problems with Keenan Allen. He obviously couldn't have had that many problems. The Chargers brought him back last year. I'd be interested in going to get Keenan Allen. Now, this is the thing, and I understand why people are saying this. C-Dot, I want the Chiefs to stay away from Brandon Ayuk. He seems like trouble. If you are still available at this stage, there's something serious in your Carfax of why you are still available. Like, look at this list. Juwan Jennings, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, Keenan Allen. It is usually off-the-field issues, difficult to deal with, old, injured. There's a reason why you are available on Cinco de Mayo. They're starting football practice next week. Like, they're starting OTAs. So if you're not on a team at this point, I'm not saying you can't play, but there are not going to be a lot of 24-year-old, really productive, really healthy. That's not who's available at this stage. Now, that's not to say you can't still find productive players. The Chiefs, they ended up getting Kareem Hunt. They got Kareem Hunt late in the process. He ended up being a plus for them. Keenan Allen, he signed real late in the process last year. Keenan Allen had 81 catches for 700 yards last year. That's a productive player if you're looking at it as your third option. So if I'm the Chiefs, I am interested in going to bring in one of these wide receivers that you could get in for a very, very cheap deal and have him be your DeAndre Hopkins. You just start that process a little bit earlier. Or I take a swing on one of these tight ends. I take a swing on David Njoku or Darren Waller. I take a swing.
I think I agree with the text line on Brandon Ayuk. And I like your Carfax analogy. A lot of the players you mentioned have things that pop up in the Carfax history report. I think Keenan Allen, I think Jawan Jennings, I think there are people whose the Carfax report says there are some problems, but I think it's still a car worth buying. Brandon Ayuk, to me, feels like red alert, stay away.
For sure.
It's not just the fact he was injured. Remember when he went missing from the facility and the Niners just didn't know where he was for like weeks on end? Then he posted that weird Instagram video where he drove by the facility saying, I'm here. I think Brandon Ayuk's a no, but I think right now is about finding the value and squeezing the last little football out of one of those players' body. There's that scene in Moneyball where Brad Pitt tells David Justice, let's be honest about what each other wants.
Yeah.
I want to squeeze the last little bit of baseball out of your life. That's what Brett Veach needs to be saying to Keenan Allen or saying to, Tyreek Hill or saying to Stephon Diggs. There ain't much football left in your body. I want to squeeze the last little bit of it out of your body because if you're coming to Kansas City post Cinco de Mayo, you're not coming here to be a wide receiver 1. You're coming here to be a pass catcher number 3, 550 type of yards guy in the NFL. You're not the star.
Now, on the defensive side, I know we don't got a lot of time left.
There's one name I know you want.
Just other names. Bosa, Clowney, Hassan Reddick, Von Miller, Dante Fowler Jr. Now, I know the argument's going to be, those guys are old. Again, there are not guys available at this stage that are coming in and going to be your number one available pass rusher. If that was the case, you would have got that guy. That guy would have been signed up a long time ago. So, yes, everybody who is available has some red flags, has some negatives. They have something in their Carfax, something in their history. But I am still very much on board with the Chiefs, as I would say right now the Chiefs are a little bit of a hybrid. They are definitely a younger team, but the core of your team is still relatively older. Travis Kelce's still on the team. Patrick Mahomes is on the team. Chris Jones is on the team. You got guys that kind of know how that locker room operates to police it in a way that if you bring in a guy like Cam Jordan, what are you worried about? A guy who's been in the league for a decade or so, a guy who people are going to vote for the Hall of Fame. There's not anything to worry about. Or somebody like Darren Waller, hey, Travis, get him up to speed. Travis, he's a very talented guy who can help us. He's going to make your job easier. Hey, you show him the ropes here in your final year of how we do things in this locker room. I think the Chiefs are well positioned to bring on one of these kind of personalities. And at this stage, if it doesn't work and you got to cut them, then move on from them. You're not signing Keenan Allen to a $13 million deal. Keenan Allen, what did he sign last year? Let's look it up. How much money do you think Keenan Allen signed last year?
$6.5 to $9 million, my guess.
I'll look it up here. Let me pull it up here. Keenan Allen, he signed a 1-year, $8.5 million deal that guaranteed him $2.2 million.
That's no money.
Nothing. So if it doesn't work and you got to get rid of him, then get rid of him. You didn't pay him anything.
Let me say this, though. Let me just be devil's advocate for 2 seconds about bringing in a veteran. I know we're starting to get up against the clock. You opened the show today at 2 o'clock about Jack Caglione. It's time to make him a full-time player. He's part of your future. Give him the ABs, this, that, and the other. If you bring in Cam Jordan, you block ABs from Peter Woods, who might be a defensive end. If you block, for the analogy, ABs from, R. Mason Thomas, who is a rookie, are you benefiting the Chiefs long-term by doing that when you have a 47-year-old or approximate in Cam Jordan blocking one of your rookies from getting valuable pass rush reps? It could be the same as insert player X blocking Jack Caglione.
Yeah, I just think it's a little bit different just in football because they just rotate out so much. And I'm using Seattle as a reference. I've given this stat before. I mean, there are only two defensive linemen last year for Seattle that played more than 50% of the snaps. I mean, they had a very, very good defensive line. Everybody else was just kind of in that 35 to 45 range. So if you're super high on Ashton Gillotte, I'm not telling you not to be. Ashton Gillotte is not playing 70% of the snaps for the Chiefs this year. He's playing 45% of the snaps this year for Kansas City. So the question is, if you're divvying up these minutes in a basketball term or divvying up these snaps in a football term, who do you want those snaps going to? Some of those snaps I would love to go to an established older player, and largely because you and I both know this. Somebody on the team's getting hurt this year. Somebody in that running back room is getting banged up. somebody in that wide receiver room is going to miss time. Everybody's not playing all 17 games. So I would like a plan B if something goes wrong on the defensive line, like it did last year with Omar Norman-Lott, that the Chiefs are not now scrambling and they got to bring back Derek Nottie because this injury happened. That's why I think you need a surplus of some of these positions. We are off early today because of the Royals. It looks like the weather's going to hold up a little bit. We were kind of worried earlier in the day. Hopefully, the Royals win today and keep this winning streak going. We'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. Take care. It's The Drive.
Your off-season home for everything Chiefs